Right, I should get water. Ouch. Hit myself with my headphones. There, I've got some water. Just waiting a bit for people to get in, as is usually the case with stuff like this. This music's pretty. Like, this is pretty music. As the sort of music that you want for a game like this. Okay, let's switch over to the actual game screens. Hello, it's me, Zodiac. We are going to be streaming today Rose of Winter. Rose of Winter is a romance visual novel. Hello, Knight. It's very pretty. Knight. Yeah, A Rose of Winter. It is a romantic visual novel about a knight apprentice lady. I don't know much about it. I'm playing this blind. I know it is made primarily, like, in both art and writing by Magnolia Pearl, who does who did the Monster Pulse webcomic, which is actually pretty good. I like it a lot. And also, this Monday or Tuesday, I forget which, she is starting a new webcomic series in the universe of this game. And I figured, hey, that's a nice coincidence. I could play this and just, like, get ready for that. So yeah, without further ado, let's start Rose of Winter. Beware, evildoers, for I am Rosemary, the Knight of Winter. Or should it be Blade of Winter? Oh, maybe the Rose of Winter. Nah, drop the. Doesn't that sound impressive? You know, a symbol of hope bursting through the ice. That's good, right? I mean, it's not too completely embarrassing, is it? Oh well, I'll figure out a good knightly sounding title someday. My actual name is Rosemary, which isn't very knight-ish. That I disagree with. Rosemary is a very good name for a knight. And as for that Blade of Winter thing, well, I'm in a place where it's been snowing a lot, and, you know, to be honest, I think it sounds cool. Cool stuff doesn't have to make sense, right? I mean, I guess. Oh, this is lovely already. Also, I love Rosemary. She's adorable. I love her. Anyway, about a year ago, I left my family's farm to fulfill my destiny and become a knight. Sounds pretty amazing, right? I thought so too. So far, though, I've just been doing odd jobs for gold, wherever I can find them. I've slain the occasional beast and rescued plenty of cats from trees. It's not exactly what I expected, but at least I'm making a living. Also, look at how big her sword is! How strong are you? I guess that makes me more of a mercenary than a real knight. But hey, I've got a cool suit of armor and my trusty sword, so I'm almost there. Correct, this is a cute suit of armor. I hate to admit it, but it's harder to become a knight than I thought. I'll always keep trying, though. Determined! Look at this determined bean. I love this. My travels eventually brought me to this tavern at the foot of Mount Needle. You wouldn't know it from how cozy it is in here, but the mountain inside is super dangerous. Mount Needle, so named for the freezing winds that pierce your very skin, crawling with deadly beasts that hunger for human flesh. Only the bravest of the brave dare to venture here. Doesn't that sound like the perfect place for an aspiring knight to find her destiny? Oh, I'm so excited! Anyway, now that I'm here, I'm gonna... Ugh. That is almost certainly a gambeson. Not chainmail, it would be... It's like a padded leather suit, basically. Gambesons would usually be the sort of armor that you wear underneath the big metal-y bits. Anyway, now that I'm here, I've got to find a job, and fast. Spent the last of my gold getting a room at this tavern. Planning ahead isn't exactly my strong suit. Luckily, the tavern has plenty of postings for mercenaries. I mean, knights, like me! It shouldn't be too hard to find a job here. See, beyond Mount Needle lies Starlight City, one of the most beautiful and prosperous places in the world. People from all kingdoms gather there for important business. To get there, you can either travel by boat for days on end, or take a shortcut over the deadly mountain. Who would ever take the shortcut route? Most people take the long way around, and it just so happens there are 4 princes of different kingdoms here at this tavern now. Each of them has urgent business in Starlight City and needs to take the shortcut, however dangerous it might be. And you know what? That's fair, Blue. Yep. Got a gig economy. They'll need an escort to make it across. That's where I come in. I may not be great at planning, but I've got good instincts, a huge sword, and more than enough strength to use it. I can get a prince across that mountain with my eyes closed. I think. So let's see. The 4 princes are... First is Faulkner, the Prince of the Fae. Look at this fucking uncle. Look at this incredible uncle. I've heard a little about him. He's supposed to be all dashing and elegant, the perfect gentleman. But the Fae people are all supposed to be really tiny? I mean, I've never met one, but that's what I hear. How's he gonna handle crossing a treacherous mountain? I do kind of hope he's only, like, waist high. He just looks exactly like this, except very small. Well, I guess it's my job to figure that out. Next is Prince Elginder of the Southern Kingdom. He's pretty young, like a little kid. The job comes from his caretaker who's traveling with him. I'm pretty sure that this guy is his brother, and, oh, nice, cute bird. Yes. Guy who has to bring his brother along wherever he goes because he's just too young. I don't like to judge based on looks, but doesn't he kind of look like a scruffy drifter? I mean, yeah, but he's a scruffy hottie. That's totally fair. Should a guy like that really be taking care of a kid? I wonder what the story is there. We didn't even post his name. Third is Tarun, Prince of Dragons, who I like the fish scale aesthetic going on here. I cannot... Can you see my mouse, by the way? I'm gesturing with my mouse. I should... Next time I stream this, I should make sure my mouse is visible. Yeah. Wayfish Elf Prince. Well, it's kind of scary, but he's actually a real dragon. Okay, you can. Good. That's good to know. The job posting says he's a fire dragon, so he doesn't do well in cold weather. He has to take a human form to save energy, so he's really weak and needs a lot of help getting across the mountain. Ah, I see. Comfort boyfriend. Oh, well, in that case, this shouldn't be too bad. Anyway, knights deal with dragons all the time, don't they? This should be a piece of cake. They don't deal with dragons the way that you are probably going to deal with this guy. Finally, there's Prince Kuya of Moon Forest. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. I love this guy. The big buff bull man. I love him already. To be honest, I'm more scared of him than the dragon. His kingdom is totally isolated, so no one really knows what his people are like. But the stories say they're all barbaric, fierce hunters with giant claws and fangs like wild beasts. Still, if he's here asking for help like anyone else, he can't be that bad, right? Okay, maybe there were more jobs than just these four, but these guys just seem super interesting to me. And by interesting, I mean hot. Okay. Look, don't judge me. I've been traveling all alone for so long, and I've always dreamed of a fairy tale romance. It's not like I really expect anything to happen. I've never even had a boyfriend before. But maybe this time. But anyway, enough of this embarrassing stuff. I'm gonna hurry up and pick a prince already. And so we have choices. And this is where you, the viewers, come in. Who of these people are we going to be going with first? Do we go with the uncle? Do we go with the babysitter? Do we go with the dragon man? Or do we go with the beast prince? So that's 1 vote for the beast prince, 2 votes for the beast prince. Okay, okay. You're all... hello, Zero Wolf Void. So that's 1 vote for the dragon, 2 for the beast prince. Gonna let it linger for just a bit longer. See if we get any more comments on what we should do. Who should we go for first? Okay, we had 2 votes for Beast Prince, and to be honest, that's the one I am personally most interested in, so let's go with Kuya, the Beast Prince. I finished gathering my supplies and getting ready to go. By the time I arrive in the main hall of the tavern, Prince Kuya is already there. He's standing by the door, looking irritated and impatient, all cooped up and bristling to move. I've never met Prince Kuya, but I'm sure that must be him. How can I tell? Well, he's really, big. Big. I mean, he's a prince of Moon Forest, so I knew he was going to be larger than average. I'm not that surprised, but I guess it's one thing to hear about it and another thing to see it. The beast people of Moon Forest never leave their domain, and no one else is allowed inside. It's pretty rare to actually meet one, but everyone knows the stories. Huge, wild, terrifying, faces of men, bones of giant, hearts of wolves. When that's all you hear about a kingdom, it sticks with you. Prince Kuya lives up to that fearsome reputation. As I draw closer to him, my heart flutters in my chest. I don't usually get nervous, but see, I'm pretty big myself. Even when I was a little girl, I was taller and wider than most kids my age. And not to brag or anything, but I work out a lot. This guy, though, he actually makes me feel small. Turns his fiery gaze down on me, and my mind goes blank. Oh no! I blare out the first thing I think of. Aren't you going to be cold?
What?
Your armor, it's not giving you a lot of coverage, and Mount Needle can get chilly. Well, more than chilly, it's freezing. So I'm just worried you might be, that is...
Excuse me!
His deep, booming voice shakes the floor. Everyone in the tavern falls dead silent and looks at us. I know right away that I've messed up. Oh no! Oh, this is a bad first impression. I'm so sorry. I just blurted out whatever I was thinking. I was looking at your chest, your armor, and I... Oh, never mind. Please, just let me start again. Hello, Prince Kuya. It's an honor to meet you. My name is Rosemary, and...
Rosemary? Is this your first time meeting a son of Moon Forest?
Yes, sir. To be honest, I hardly know a thing about you, or your people, or how to address you, or anything. Apologize if I've offended you, sincerely.
You know nothing! Truly nothing? Very well then. I shall educate you. Rosemary, you speak to a great hunter, Prince. These clothes were bestowed upon me as proof of my great skill and endless triumph.
Okay, he's bullshitting. He is absolutely bullshitting. He is... It's gonna be that he's like a runt. A scrawny runt boy of his people.
It makes me laugh to hear your question. You question them. See, I'm laughing.
Oh god, I love him.
I'd be offended if I thought you were clever enough to intend your words as insults.
Jesus Christ, man!
But you are clearly just ignorant of civilized ways. I knew your outsiders were weak and tiny, but I had no idea the extent of your inferiority.
Ah, I see.
For your information,
no. You are banned and gone. No more bots. No bots. Go away.
For your information, we hunter princes brave much harsher conditions than this pitiful mountain. The cold is nothing for us.
I want to be famous, but I don't want to be, like, super famous. I want to be known enough that people who hear my name are like, oh, I think I know that person. I don't want to be so famous as to be, like... trying to think of a good example that isn't, like, unduly rude. Anyway...
You outsiders need to be swaddled like infants when faced with a little snow. But I assure you, I am made of stronger stuff.
I love this Vegeta-ass giant man.
These clothes are sufficient, and I'll not hear another word about them.
His words sting, and it's hard to ignore the people staring at us. The first thing I said to him, the very first thing, was an insult to his clothing, which is obviously special to him. I should have known better. As such, I really don't have the right to argue. I'll just have to grin and bear it for now. Yes, Prince Kuya.
And another thing, you do not call me by my name. Address me only as Your Mightiness, or don't speak to me at all.
I like how when he was doing this, he kind of raised up a little bit, as if he is trying to seem taller. Yes, your mightiness. He looks away and is silent for what feels like a long time. Have I really offended him so deeply? Oh no, he's so nervous. He is so nervous. I can't believe it. 5 minutes into this job and I'm already blowing it. Some night I am. Oh, look at him! Look at how cute he is.
Sorry for yelling.
Huh?
Never mind. Ahem. Come along, Rosemary. We have a long journey ahead of us. I'd hoped for a more formidable companion, but when in the land of lowly outsiders, even a prince must make do. Ha ha!
You don't have to worry, I promise. I'm pretty strong. Maybe I'm not as tall as you, Prince Kuya, but... Whoop! I mean...
Do not make me repeat myself. I told you to address me as your magnificence.
That's not what you said. Oh no! Welcome to Choices. This is also our first time that we can save. Oh wait, no, it saves at the last choice. That's cool. Just put that there. So, which of these should we go with? Do we point out that, hey, that's not what you said the first time, bud? Or do we say that, oh no, we misheard him? Because I think I want to call him out. Yeah, let's call out this man. I'm pretty sure you said I should call you your mightiness.
Oh, did I? I mean, don't question me. I mean, I'm not... Both are correct! Yes, that's it! Aren't you smart enough to figure that out?
I'm not one to lose my temper, but this is annoying. It's not my fault he can't keep track of his own stupid title. I decided to keep that thought for myself, though. Something in his expression. It isn't that I'm too scared to defy him. It's more like, will I hurt his feelings if I keep arguing? I think he's embarrassed that I called him out. It's kind of adorable in an obnoxious way. Oh, that's cute. Okay, that makes sense. I'll remember that, your mighty magnificence.
Good, thank you. So, Rosemary, you fancy yourself strong, do you? How amusing.
I don't fancy myself anything, I just...
Ha ha! You'll think differently once you see the strength of a true hunter prince in the action. Now, let us be off.
What's this guy's deal? It's not like I claim to be stronger than him or anything. I don't really care which of us is stronger. At least, not as much as he does. Oh well, he's paying me to take him across the mountain, and like Mother always said, any job that pays is a good one. Not true. He's amazing and I love him. Right now, Rosemary thinks he's kind of an obnoxious but adorable guy, which entirely correct. This job, though, I have a bad feeling about it. Hope I'm not in over my head. After an hour of walking, we've made good progress up the mountain. The sky is clouded over, though, and the snow is already falling fast. Oh, Toby Fox did the music, or did some music for this game, by the way. So that would be why that record sounds like Deltarune. He did music for this game. The weather might clear up as the day goes on, but it's more likely that things will only get worse from here. Also, I can't help but notice that Kuya is shivering in the cold. It's taking every ounce of my willpower not to comment. Do you think we should maybe make camp early? I'm worried about the snow.
Snow like this? Ha! It's nothing! Less than nothing! I am the great hunter prince, Kuya! Do you know, outsider, that I once destroyed an entire forest with nothing but my bare teeth and claws?
Look, Kuya, I know they call them trees, but eating broccoli is not the equivalent of destroying an entire forest. And yeah, you should probably say something before he freezes to death.
That way, our enemy soldiers had no trees in which to hide, such as the raw and brutal power we hunters possess.
No, I mean, kind of. Look at him, he's got fangs. I don't see what that has to do with anything, but there's no point in asking. He's just going to keep on talking.
That's why I'm going to Starlight City. I must represent Moonforest in our yearly council with the outsider kings and queens. I have 5 older siblings, and usually my elder siblings represent our kingdom, but this year I was chosen. They may be older than I am, but only I am a great hunter prince.
I've actually heard stories about the great hunters of Moonforest, although I don't remember any details. Hearing about them might be interesting, much as I hate to admit it.
Not just anyone can become a hunter, you know. We are specially chosen to join the great hunt. Only the bravest and strongest can handle it. My elder siblings weren't worthy, but I succeeded where they failed. The great hunters are sacred. The great hunts are sacred. Every year in the season of dusk, we ride through the forest for 13 nights. Hunters don't stop to eat, sleep, or even to rest. We focus on our quarry. We return only when we have subdued the rarest and most elusive prey, like the silver stag or the winged wolf.
This hurts my voice. And yes, very bad. Persistence hunting is a good idea, but also not that bad.
Riding home with their pelts around our shoulders, we are treated like kings.
And I got water, don't worry.
No, better than kings. With great feasts of golden apples and wine ever pouring, we hunters are not only the guardians of Moonforest, we are also its glory and its pride.
That sounds great, Your Magnificence.
It is the highest honor. More wonderful and wild than your puny mind could imagine. Ha! I bet you wouldn't last an hour in the first evening of a great hunt. I'm surprised you were even made a knight, although you might be considered strong by pitiful outsider standards.
Actually, I'm not really a knight. I mean, like, not officially.
Ha 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 ha! I should have guessed. Look at you, with your fluffy little mane, no claws, no fangs. Pathetic. Ha ha ha!
Okay, first off...
Achoo!
That was a sneeze, wasn't it? I knew it! I knew you were gonna catch cold in that outfit.
What? No, that was a battle cry. Great hunters don't sneeze, we...
Whatever you say, Your Magnificence. I grab my pack and pull out a small piece of bread wrapped in leaves. Here, eat this.
Sniff. Why? Is this some kind of trick?
No, silly, it's a snack. If you eat more, your body will have more energy to keep itself warm. Yeah, all you need is a rough-hewn cloak in the winter. It's fine. You should have this snack, though. I know it's not much, but it might help. Though he still looks a bit suspicious, Kuya takes the bread from me and gives it a tiny nibble. I hate to admit it, but it's awfully cute.
This is...
Oh, no! Look at his face! Look at him! He is enthused by the bread. I love him. Good. Does it help? Do you feel warmer?
Well, I wasn't actually cold, remember? But maybe a little.
Glad to hear it.
Why are you being so nice to me?
Okay. What do we do? Do we tell him because it's the right thing to do? Because it is? Or do we just tell him to fuck off, basically? Okay, that's a vote for I'm not sure. See, one of the I kind of wish there was a third option to be like, we are being paid to deliver you. Okay, so that's 2 for do the right thing, 1 for I'm not sure. So, we're going to do the right thing this time. But also... because it's the right thing to do. Why wouldn't I want to help you? It's kind of my job. And besides, that's what knights are supposed to do, right? Help people in need? I wouldn't be very heroic otherwise.
Well, of course we great hunters are very heroic too, so thank you, Rosemary. This delicious tiny bread snack was worthy of a mighty warrior.
I love... Just take a picture of this and frame it on the wall. Wow, that's not a compliment I ever expected to hear, but you're very welcome. It's almost a nice moment. Unfortunately, it doesn't last. As soon as we start walking, he starts going on about his adventures again. Feels like he's been talking non-stop for hours. I knew Mount Needle was bad, but I didn't think the journey would be this painful.
And so, everyone thought I was done for, but really I was only playing dead to fool the dire bear. At the very last moment, I roared back to life and sliced the bear's head off with just one of my claws. I used my finger to slice the bear's head off. I'm not boasting at all. Everyone clapped. But really, I don't do it for thanks. I do it because it is my honor as a son of Moonforest and a hunter prince.
He grins at me, tries to gauge how much I enjoyed the story. I smile back at him, hoping it looks sincere. Now that I think about it, this might be a chance to connect with him. I have plenty of stories like that from my own travels. Maybe if we become better friends, he'll be fun to talk to. You know, I came across a dire bear on my travels too. Sounds like mine wasn't as big as yours, but it was pretty hefty. I've been wandering around the edge of town and was scaring this one guy's goats, so he hired me to...
Rosemary, please. Does the story have a point?
I just thought you might want to hear some of my stories too. Kuya is a fucking dickbag. I love him though.
Do you really think your little errands can compare with the tales of the great prince of Moonforest?
Oh, absolutely. He is bullshitting everyone. Well, it's true that the goat story wasn't that exciting. It's a you had to be there thing. But I swear, if I have to hear the words Great Prince of Moonforest one more time, I'm going to explode. No job is worth putting up with this. Okay, calm down, Rosemary. Calm down. Let's just forget about it. Do you want to take a break soon? There's a river nearby, so we can get some water and rest a bit before moving on.
Ha! I could keep walking for hours, easily. But if you're tired, I suppose I could...
Ah! What's that? Huh? What's going on? Did you see a monster? I've got my sword. I'm ready to fight if...
No, look, my cloak! It has a huge stain on it! And look! One of my soldier spikes got dented! When did that happen? We've only been walking for a few hours!
You know, that's a good point. How did that happen? Also, I called it. Absolutely. He's a little fop boy. He is Twig Man for the beasts. Huh? Jeez, from the way you screamed, I thought we were in danger.
I did not scream. I bellowed a mighty roar of fury. Look at this mess.
I guess that tends to happen when you're hiking up a deadly mountain. Hasn't your cloak gotten ripped or stained on your hunts before?
Well, obviously, yes, of course, but it's only gotten stained with the blood of deadly beasts. This is mud! A totally different thing. You said there was a river nearby, yes? Let's stop here so I can wash it. Hurry!
Whatever you say, your mightiness. Oh, I love this. I love this so much. And so we stop to rest. There's a small cave nearby that we duck into to get out of the snow. I get some food out of my pack, ready to offer it to Kuya, but he's too busy worrying about his dumb cloak.
Look at this, practically ruined. Paid so much for it, too.
I thought you earned it from heroically slaying monsters and stuff like that.
Yes, exactly. I paid for it with my heroic slayings. Ah, you outsiders are so thick-headed. Do I have to explain everything to you? I think this is salvageable. I'm going to go out to the river to see if I can clean it off. Stay right here and don't touch anything.
It's a cave! Why would I be touching stuff? Kuya doesn't listen to me. He just goes storming off. I let him throw his tantrum, I guess. Strange to see such a big, tough warrior guy get so upset over a little stain on his cloak and a scratch on his armor. Then again, I shouldn't be so quick to judge. I already accepted him once by making light of what he's wearing. I would absolutely, in this situation, explicitly go out of my way to find something to touch. It's obviously really important to him. It's my own fault if I don't get it. Settle down, glad for a moment of silence and solitude. You know what? That's a fair point, Knight. Don't ruin the cave ecology. It's nice to catch my breath and not be yelled at for a while. But a little while turns into a long while, and I start to get worried. Kuya's been gone for 20 minutes now. How long does it take to wash a stain out of the cloak, anyway? What if something's happened to him? It was stupid of me to let him go out there alone. No matter how big he is, he's still a prince, and it's still my job to protect him. Maybe he got eaten by a bear. How would I explain that to the Moonforest royal family? Sorry, I let your youngest son go out into a deadly mountain by himself for no reason at all. Tell myself to calm down, and that Kuya's probably fine, as I hurry out to the cave to look for him. It doesn't take me long to reach the riverside. No sign of Kuya, though. Oh no, what if something really did happen to him? Your Magnificence! Are you okay? Hello? Catch sight of Kuya's cloak and armor, lying neatly folded on a smooth rock beside the river's edge. Oh, are we going to have a shirtless... I mean, he's shirtless already, but are we going to have, like, a more risque thing? So if Kuya's clothes are here, where is he?
Rosemary?
Yep. Fuck. Oops. Oopsies. Are we gonna get taken off of Twitch because this is technically nudity? I'm speechless. And yes, his skin is very smooth. I knew Kuya was a big, muscular guy, but suddenly I'm seeing his actual body and I'm overwhelmed. He's beautiful. Never thought I'd use that word to describe Kuya, but no other word would do him justice. Oh, absolutely. I'm 10,000% sure that the design document for this guy's character, the first image of it is, what if we made Ganondorf hot? What if we made hot Ganondorf? Because that's what this guy is. Also, he is beautiful despite being a big muscular guy, because he is, for his people, almost certainly like a small twiggy man. Okay, fair point, Trobby. What if they made Ganondorf more hot? I literally can't take my eyes off him. I want to memorize every detail so I can keep coming back to this image in my mind. God damn it! Rosemary, you are horned up! After a moment, though, the reality of the situation hits me all at once. Ah!
Ah! What are you doing here? Why are you looking at me?
What? It's not like I was trying to. You're the one who took your clothes off for no reason. Why did you do that? Oh, wrong button.
Isn't it obvious? I washed them and then I realized I was dirty too, so I took them off to bathe in the river.
You wanted to bathe in a freezing river completely naked on a snow-covered mountain by yourself? Fair point, Rosemary. What's wrong with you? You'll get frostbite and die. Don't you have any common sense at all?
I told you, I'm a great hunter prince and I don't feel the cold. Oh, why do I bother trying to explain myself to a lowly peasant like you? I'll do what I please and...
Kuya slips, and my heart stops beating. He's about to fall back into the freezing water. Oh no! If I don't act soon, he'll be swept away by the river, and there won't be anything I can do to help him. Time stands still. I move without thinking, closing the distance between us as fast as I can. Oh no! Throw my hands around his waist and pull him sharply away from the riverbank. Oh no! Uh-oh! The good news is I managed to drag him to safety just in time. The bad news is, in doing so, I press him against me and I get a face full of Kuya's naked chest. I stay like that a moment, stunned. His body is so smooth and firm and surprisingly warm. I guess it's not really such bad news after all. I don't think that's going to happen. I think this game is definitely not, like, adult rated. There will probably be some implied that, though.
Rosemary?
Huh? What?
You're touching my chest. A lot.
So I am. Goodness, what a situation. Let me just go ahead and stop doing that. Yeah. Oh, did that actually pop up? Did that pop up? That owns. I'm glad that popped up. Yeah, this is pretty explicit, even for a comedy teen romance stuff. I step away very carefully. I kind of wish I didn't have to. Wait, what am I thinking? This is Kuya, the biggest jerk in the world. But even jerks can have nice chests, right? Fuck! This game is... Oh, this... This has been a fucking blast.
Well, I've never been more embarrassed in my life.
Yeah, me too. To be honest, I'm feeling more than just embarrassed, but I'd rather die than let him know that. I avert my eyes, and he goes to put his clothes back on.
There, see? I cleaned the stain out of the cloak and hammered the dent out of the spikes.
After all that, I have no idea what to say.
Ahem. I know this is an awkward situation, and I'd rather forget it completely. But, Rosemary, do you think it looks okay?
What's that? I couldn't hear what you said.
I said, do you think it looks okay?
What, your outfit?
Well, yes, I went through all that trouble to get it to look nice again. What do you think?
I take a step back to get a look at him. I want to answer honestly. So, I think Kuya also fell in love with her immediately, because he's just an absolute nerd. It'd be really satisfying to tell him he looks like an idiot, but the truth is, I'm a sucker for cool-looking armor, and I love the spikes and flowing cloak. I wonder if my armor would look good with a few spikes. Not really, but maybe. But then, maybe I'm giving him too much credit because my brain is clouded by hotness. That's a thing, right? Yes, it is. You know your brain is clouded by romantic feelings when you see your partner wearing a t-shirt and you're like, oh, that looks so good on you. And it's just a regular t-shirt, Zodi. What are you talking about? I don't want to encourage him to be a jerk, but I don't want to lie to him either. Okay. This is a fun choice. What do we say here? You look cool, but not nearly as cool as me. Or, you look pretty awesome. That is also a sign of your brain being clouded by hotness. So, my friends. Okay, so that's one vote for... That's one vote for you look cool but not as cool as me. One vote for... Okay, that's 2 votes for you look cool but not nearly as cool as me. We will go with that one then. Jam.
Ha! A lowly outsider, cooler than a great prince of Moon Forest? You certainly think highly of yourself.
Hey now, one of us almost froze to death, naked, and one of us saved the other with her incredible quick thinking and sweet moves. Should I remind you which is which?
I only slipped because you startled me.
Yeah, well, I didn't slip, and I had a way bigger reason to be startled than you.
I told you, I was trying to take a bath and... never mind. Thank you for saving me, Rosemary.
Huh? Oh, I was only teasing. I'm just doing my job after all.
No, you were right. It was very, very cool of you.
Ha 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 ha.
Not cooler than me, though.
See, I knew this would be the right answer, because this is the sort of guy who would appreciate some banter. Like, oh, yeah, you're cool. Not as cool as I am, though. We'll see about that. And so we gather our supplies and keep walking. I'm glad we're moving again, because it gives me something to think about beside Kuya without any clothes on. Oh, who am I kidding? I can't stop thinking about it. I don't even want to stop thinking about it. But I have to. It's Kuya. I don't care how hot he is. He's a big, mean, blowhard jerk. Okay, I care a little about how hot he is. And if he's totally awful, why do I feel so conflicted about it? Why can't I just enjoy his hotness and move on? Damn, that's a genuine question. Now, the secret is, he is obviously not an asshole. He is just trying to present this because this is how his culture... It's a personal thing. And you're just picking up on those things without noticing it. I guess it's because in a few small moments he's shown me something different. When he's vulnerable, he's kind of nice to me. Or at least I get a glimpse of something more underneath all that bluster. If you were like that more often, maybe... There's no use in wishing for something that's never going to happen. No matter how nice it is to think about, I've gotta forgot Kuya's hot body. Although it's nice to distract myself with those memories while the real Kuya is ranting at me.
And anyway, you outsiders don't even have any horns. I thought they just might be very small under your hair, but no! No horns at all! Do you have any idea how ridiculous you look?
Incidentally, I think the new comic that Magnolia is making in this universe takes place where this guy is from. So this is actually a good place for us to start.
I almost feel sorry for you. How do you strike fear into the very souls of your enemies?
Are you going to be like this the whole way?
Why? Are you intimidated by my greatness?
What? No! You are so full of yourself. I can't believe I thought I saw something deeper in you for even like one tiny second. At least now I know for sure that looks aren't everything.
Wait, what? You saw something in me?
Wow, I really don't want to get into this. There's no escape from this large man. Before I can say anything, the wind picks up and starts to howl. The snow thickens into heavy sheets. I can hardly see anything in front of me. There's no time to argue. I have to deal with this first. Thank goodness. Your mightiness, can you hear me? I know we've only been walking away for a little while, but we need to stop and find shelter for the night.
Are you so easily defeated by a little wind and cold? It's still light out, and we just took a break. But if you're tired again already, I'll be happy to carry you the rest of the way.
For goodness sakes, can you stop? If we keep going in this weather, we'll get lost or catch our death of cold. Trust me, I've crossed mountains before. The smartest thing to do is...
I've crossed mountains too! You really think you know better than me? Don't make me laugh.
Honestly, I've had just about enough of this guy. It takes a lot to push me over the edge, but I want to get this over with and get out of the stinging cold. Prince Kuya, shut up! It's like you can't even open your stupid mouth without saying something mean to me. And for what? All I'm trying to do is help you. You're acting like a bratty child, and I'm sick of it. Look, you hired me to be your guide across the mountain, not as some servant you can push around. But you still won't take any of my advice or listen to a word I say. Why do you even hire a guide if you think you're so superior? You may not think so, but I actually know what I'm doing, okay? Probably more than you do. But if you're not going to listen to me, I should just leave you to die alone on this mountain. For real this time. Yes, absolutely. I mean, let's be fair. They're climbing a winter mountain it may be actually quite cold. But if they ever give us like an exact temperature, and the temperature is not something that I, as a Canadian, would find cold, I am going to dunk on it. There's a thick veil of snow around Kuya, blurring his features. He doesn't answer me at first, but is closer to me, moving with strong and purposeful strides. I almost forgot how large he is. He towers over me, easily. Now that he's closer, I can see his face more clearly. He looks angrier than I've ever seen him. The sight of it shocks me into silence. If I weren't trembling with anger myself, I'd wonder if I'd gone too far. When he finally speaks, his voice has a hard edge to it. A vicious growl that seems to shake the earth, even through the layers of snow.
How dare you? How dare you? You speak to me as you would a child. I am not a child. You truly believe I need you? You, a lowly outsider, weak and pathetic like an infant. What possible use could I have for you? If you knew what I was, you'd beg to serve me. I am the great Kuya, who once tore the throat out of a wolf drake with my bare hands. I was only a baby. It was my first kill, and one that marked me for greatness, for life. I laugh to think of what your first kill must have been, if you ever even had one.
It was probably the time a mouse got in the kitchen when Father was making breakfast and I hit it with a frying pan. Now that doesn't seem like a great time for that story. Kuya is shouting now. He's lost all sense of what's around him, his fangs and clawed bared in fury. He faces rage head on, without flinching. Seeing him like this, with his wild mane whipped in the wind, his muscles rippling, those sharp teeth so huge and frightening. When thinking of Kuya as a big blowhard, it occurs to me for the first time that these stories of his might actually be true. You know what? That would be a really fun twist if, no, he's not bullshitting, he's just like this. That would be fascinating. But we'll see. He really does look like a barbarian prince, one who could rip the throat out of a wolf drake or level a forest with his bare claws.
So? Are you so pitiful that you have nothing to say in response? Well, that's to be expected, isn't it? A pathetic outsider with nothing to do or say.
Why did you even bring me along if you hate me so much?
Hate you? But I don't...
The next instant, our argument comes to an end. We both realize there's a bigger problem in front of us.
Uh-oh!
Boar! A great and terrifying beast emerges from the swirling snow. A tremendous boar, covered with dense black hair, as sharp and thick as nails, with a set of cruel tusks as long as my arm. A Mount Needle Razorback. I remember reading about them in one of my old books. The blood turns cold at the sight of it. These beasts don't normally attack humans unprovoked. I gotta sneeze. See, what's funny about that night is that the new webcomic that is going to be starting in this universe is The Golden Boar, which is a romance series where the main character is some kind of boar man. So, maybe. I need to blow my nose. Hold on a second, please. Okay, I am back. These beasts don't normally attack humans unprovoked, but loud sounds can trigger them into rampage. This one must have heard Kuya and I when we were shouting at each other. The Razorback saunters towards us, his tusk lowered in an attack position. I grab Kuya's arm and speak in a low whisper. Your Mightiness, I've read about these things, and they're very dangerous. Even if we both try to fight, we might not make it out alive. If we back away slowly, we can escape and find shelter without provoking it to charge.
Rosemary, do not insult me. I am a hunter prince.
I can handle the foul beast myself. Kuya's voice shakes violently. With fear or with cold, I can't tell. All I know is we'd be idiots to fight this thing, and the longer we go without running, the less chance we have of escaping. I remember reading something about it having one very odd, surprising weakness, but it was just a footnote in a book. I can't for the life of me think of it now. Oh, I'm convinced that he is completely just a baby. Complete soft baby boy. Baby boy. Precious baby boy. Please, if you've ever listened to me, listen to me now. This isn't about how strong you are. That thing has hide is like steel. Oops! Oopsies! And its tusks could rip through you in less than a second. Even the strongest person in the world couldn't fight it. That's a very loaded thing to say, Rosemary.
Let me handle it. I know I can do it. Please, trust me.
It's not crazy to think that Kuya might be a match for that thing, but I can't shake the feeling that he's in over his head. I don't know what to do, but it's too late anyway. The Razorback lurches forward to charge right at us. I have to make a decision now, or we'll both be dead. Okay. Decision time, folks! Do we let Kuya fight this deadly boar, or do we kick its ass ourselves? Okay, yeah, I did unmute myself. Just wanted to make sure. An important thing to keep in mind if he gets hurt is that we could then have a comfort moment where we... Yeah, and that's a good question. I don't know if there's any failure states in this game either. I've never played it before. So that's one vote for fight together. Sorry, I'm adjusting something. There we go. That's one vote for fight together. I think we should fight together. And... Boom. Hell yeah! Look at that big old sword! I don't care how strong Prince Kuya is. He hired me to protect him, and that's what I'm going to do. Well, I mean, if we jump in to protect him, that is technically us fighting together, I guess. Whoosh! I leap in front of him and swing my sword out in a wild arc. My sword scratches the Razorback's nose, squeals angrily and veers off, but only for a moment.
What? You hit it! You actually hit it!
Just a tiny scratch. I think it was more surprise than hurt. Don't celebrate yet. The Razorback changes course and comes thundering at us, angrier than ever. I didn't think a simple scratch will stop it this time. I really wish I could remember the secret weak spot, but I can't, so I'll have to improvise. Hold on tight.
What?
This was the right option. This was the right option. Yes! Hold on, can I... Oh, uh-oh. No, wrong button. Ah, no. Log is here. I'm not sure if I can do this, but I have to try. As quick as I can, I sheath my sword and take Kuya into my arms. He's heavy, but I can manage it. I hold on to him as tightly as I can and leap into the air, an instant before the Razorback hits us. Hell yeah! I was just trying to see if there's a way to make the text go away so I could see the full art. Whoosh! Against all odds, I jump clear over the beast! Yeah, we are channeling our inner guts. I knew I shouldn't care about this stuff right now, but a part of me wonders if I look cool. You definitely look cool, Rosemary. Look at this face. The epitome of coolness. We land safely in the snow. Yeah, there is. I just don't know what it is. Well, the Razorback searches furiously for where we disappeared to.
Rosemary, that was incredible!
We're not out of the woods yet. It's just spotted us. The Razorback comes charging again. I leap deftly aside, just barely out of reach of those tusks. The beast keeps coming and I keep darting away. My body moves on instinct. I think of nothing but keeping Kuya safe. Whoosh. The Razorback and I are caught in a strange little dance. Hasn't hit me yet, but I don't have an escape plan either. I know I can't keep this up for much longer. With every leap, I get a little more tired, and Kuya feels a little heavier in my arms. I have to end this quickly, or the Razorback will end it for me. When it charges again, this time I don't leap aside right away. Stand my ground until the Razorback is almost on top of me. Kuya's arm tightens around my shoulders. I can tell he's scared. But I know what I'm doing. I need to be as close as possible if I'm going to hit my target. Just before collision, I step aside only slightly so that the great boar comes charging past me. It's so close, I can feel the brush of its hair against my skin. Jesus, that's very close. Without wasting a breath, I jab my sword into its face, hoping against hope that I hit the right spot. I hear a great squeal of pain. I leap away, putting as much distance between us as that beast as possible.
What did you do? Did you hit it?
There's blood on my sword, so yeah, I guess I did.
What good will it do? A little scratch won't kill it.
Dummy, I'm not trying to kill it. I hit it square in the eye. It's half blind. Sure enough, the Razorback is squealing angrily, rubbing its bleeding eye in the snow. For the moment, it seems to have forgotten us. Hell yeah, Rosemary! You blinded this thing. Well, half blinded.
Oh, that makes sense. But to have hit such a small spot on a moving target, that's impossible! I can't believe you pulled it off!
It just takes practice. The Razorback squeals again. What a horrible noise. Seems to have caught sight of us with one good eye. Must be angrier than ever. Time to go! I rush off, holding tight to Kuya. Behind me, I can hear the thundering hoofbeats of the Razorback, but it's losing blood now, and I can't keep track of it so easily. Eventually, the sound dies down, fading into nothing. We lost it. We're safe. I'm not sure how long I've been running. When we break it out into a small, silent clearing, I finally feel like we can stop. I carefully set Kuya down and double over to catch my breath.
Rosemary, that was so cool.
What? Cool? Really?
Thank you for saving me. I'm sorry I didn't do much. I
told you, you couldn't have done much more than I did. It's my job to watch your back. Besides, we only barely escaped, and we'll have to be more careful not to run into that thing again. Angry, half-blind Razorback with a grudge is bad news. But you're very welcome, your magnificence. Fist of the Beast King. Hell yeah, I like that achievement name. We decide to make camp in a cave nearby, since we're both pretty wiped out. For once in his life, Kuya is pretty quiet. Seems eager to help us, too. Help set up, too. It's weird, but not unwelcome. I settle down for dinner by the fire. I have some hard bread and jerky in my pack. Kuya doesn't have anything. You must be hungry. Your Magnificence? You can have some of my food if you want.
The great hunters of Moon Forest say that the only proper way to feast is to kill the strongest animal you can find and devour its flesh right there and then. The blood is still hot, it joins with yours, and you can feel the very heart of the beast pound in your veins.
Because of this, the people of the Moon Forest have incredibly bad stomach illnesses quite often. I'm pretty sure that's not how eating works, but if those are his ways, who am I to argue? I shrug and settle down to eat. Can't help but notice Kuya staring at my meal, though I can even hear his stomach grumble.
Although, suppose you outsiders consider it rude to refuse to share meals. That's why you're looking at me like that, isn't it?
And yes, it's a good Digimon reference, too. I'm not looking at you?
If you insist, I suppose I could break tradition. Just this once.
He grabs a piece of hard bread from my pack and devours it. He could have just said he wanted to share. Whatever you say, your mightiness.
You know, Rosemary, I've been thinking. I don't think you should have to call me by those titles anymore. I mean, it's silly, isn't it?
Oh, really? Why the sudden change of heart?
It's not a change of heart. It's just, in Moon Forest, when two hunters slay a beast together, they become brothers. That's, the rule. It's not proper for one brother to consider himself superior to another. Since we slayed a beast together, you are my brother now. Or sister. Anyway, we're equals.
I think your definition of slaying a beast must be pretty liberal. But okay, that works for me. Shall I call you Prince Kuya now?
No, just Kuya. I mean, if you don't mind.
Okay, Kuya. He finishes bread in silence, hardly even looking at me. It's not like he's ignoring me, though. More like he's suddenly shy. Girls can be brothers. That is correct, Knight. That is correct. But why would he be so timid all of a sudden? I just can't figure this guy out. Rosemary, you are oblivious.
Rosemary, do you remember you were telling me about how you had to fight a dire bear once? I'd like to hear the rest of that story, if you don't mind.
Huh? Really? I mean, I guess I could, but why would you want to know that? You were right. It's not a very interesting story. Never even fought the dire bear.
Please, tell me anyway.
Okay, let's see. There was this dire bear. I mean, you knew that already. She's pretty bad at picking up the signals. That is correct. It might just be because of who Kuya is. Maybe she'd tell if the other people were being more forward. Anyway, it was hanging around the edge of a small village and scaring this one guy's herd of goats. Because it hadn't actually done anything, he thought it was a shame to kill it. So instead, the goat herd's wife made me this hat, which made me look like I had a goat horns. It was pretty silly. I went into the woods and started making these goat noises, you know? Bleating. And the dire bear followed the sound into the woods. I managed to lead it far enough away that it never bothered the goats again. But the goat herd and his wife thought it was hilarious. They laughed and laughed at me, calling me stuff like Lady Bleats a lot. They gave me plenty of cheese to take with me when I left, so I guess they were alright. You know, they gave me some cheese, so it's okay. It was pretty good cheese. Fuck, that's relatable. When I finish the story, I cringe a little. Definitely a you had to be there thing. But to my surprise...
This is absolutely, without a doubt, the funniest story I've ever heard. Rosemary, you're incredible. A great fighter and a marvelous storyteller. Is there anything you can't do?
Laying on a little thick there, isn't he? Starting to get freaked out. What is this guy's angle? I have to keep my wits about me in case he tries anything. I didn't think it was that funny, but thank you, I guess? Kuya finally stops laughing after a few minutes and wipes tears out of his eyes. Then he just stares at me with his big puppy dog eyes for what feels like way too long. Oh no! Oh no!
You know, your hair is very pretty in the firelight.
Kuya is dumb, and I love him. Okay, time to change subject. Thanks. So, what about you?
What about me?
Oh, absolutely. Well, you've told me plenty of stories already, like killing monsters and great hunts and destroying enemy armies and stuff like... But you can't be all you do, right? I mean, what's your day-to-day life like? Tell me about Moon Forest. It's pretty much a mystery to me.
Oh, that. Well,
to my surprise, he seems reluctant to talk about it.
Moon Forest is small. Smaller than most kingdoms, I'm told. All the families are familiar with each other, even the royal family, for better or worse. It's thick with trees, and in constant twilight, even in the daytime. No one knows why. Might be some ancient magic baked into the land.
So it's always dark outside? Forever? Terrible or beautiful? I know what my opinion is on this. That's one vote for beautiful. Two votes for beautiful. 3 votes for beautiful. Thank you, everyone. That's what I would have picked, because it does sound pretty fucking good.
It is very beautiful. I'm glad you think so.
Oh? Why's that?
Nothing. Never mind.
His voice, wistful and lonely, drifts off with those words. I wait for him to continue, but he doesn't. For a moment, there's only the sound of the crackling fire. Why in the world is he acting this way? Really isn't like him. It sounds like you love it there.
Parts of it are nice, yes. The trees are much larger in Moon Forest. They're purple and reach farther into the sky than you can see, fading into mist. The shadows seem to fold around them like blankets.
That sounds fucking rad! I love this place. I love this horrifying Twilight Kingdom.
And there's the silver grass that comes up to your knees, soft as feathers and always full of fireflies. Those are the parts I like.
Aw, you may be a little homesick.
What? Absolutely not. I am not a child, you know.
It's not childish to miss your home. I think about the farm a lot. I mean, I'm happy to be out here doing what I'm doing, but it's natural to miss the place you grew up in, right?
I guess so, but I don't always miss the people. My siblings, they're older than me, and I'm an adult, but I'll always be a little brother to them.
Well, that's hard to believe. Nothing about you is little. I think you're the scariest guy I've ever met. In a good way, of course.
You really mean that?
Oh, he's so happy to hear that he's a scary man. This is fantastic. Totally. You're a legendary hunter prince anyway. Start to get down on yourself, just remember all your awesomely heroic feats and stuff.
Right, my heroic feats. Rosemary, can I ask you something? Something personal?
His voice is low, soft, barely audible. I've never heard him talk like this before. Sure, Kuya. Anything, I guess.
Do you have a boyfriend?
Kuya, please. Wow. Wow. What? Where did that come from?
Nothing. Never mind. Forget it. I didn't say anything.
Huh? Kuya? Wait, I didn't... You just caught me off guard is all.
No, shut up. That's enough. We're not talking about this.
Kuya, are you crying a little? A great hunter
Prince of Moon Forest does not cry. How dare you even ask me that? Who do you think you are?
Pretty sure I saw tears in his eyes, though.
You're just a lowly outsider. You know nothing. Nothing at all.
Calm down. I didn't mean to...
Enough. Go to sleep. That's an order. We've got a long day ahead of us tomorrow, and I won't have you keeping me awake with any more nonsense. Good night.
Ah, tsundere. And with that, Kuya flops down dramatically and pulls his blanket up over his head. Within seconds, he's snoring way too loud for it to be real. To be honest, I have no idea what to think. He's obviously not going to say anything more tonight. I lie down, but I'm too surprised and bewildered to fall asleep right away. I stare at Kuya as he sleeps beside me. What exactly is going on in his head? If he'd just let me answer him, I'd have told him I don't have a boyfriend. I guess that means he doesn't have anyone either. In spite of myself, I can't help but think of how good he looked today. I'd be crazy to think about Kuya that way, right? Even if he wasn't so annoying, he'd still be from a totally different world. Then again, when I saw how hot he was, I wish he'd be nicer to me too. After he fought the Razorback, he was nicer for a little while. Isn't that exactly what I've been hoping for? I do eventually drift off to sleep. Yeah, maybe. And when I wake up the next morning, I feel strangely careful. Maybe now that we've both had time to sleep on it, he's calmed down. I roll over to ask him if he was really serious about the boyfriend thing. But his blanket lies flat on the hard earth. Kuya is gone. He's gone back to fight the boar. He's gone to go fight that boar. God damn it. Kuya! Maybe he got up to get breakfast or tried to do something stupid like take an ice bath again. But right away, it feels wrong to me. Stand up, suddenly wide awake, and grab my sword. Outside of camp, there are signs of a struggle, and my heart grows cold. Claw marks on the trees, scuffled footprints in the snow. It looks like Kuya was dragged away. But Kuya, he's a huge and powerful hunter prince, right? What could possibly be strong enough to have done this to him? I know it doesn't make any sense, but my first thought is of the Razorback. But that can't be. How could a giant half-blind boar have found us and dragged Kuya away, all without waking me up? What else could it have been, though? If there's some monster on this mountain we don't even know about? Something powerful and crafty that neither of us could have seen coming? Doesn't matter now. No matter what horrible creature did this, my job is still the same. I've got to save Kuya. I head out, not bothering to pack up our camp. Luckily, the monster and Kuya have left a pretty clear trail, and in the fresh morning light, it isn't hard to keep track. Follow the gashes in the trees and the signs of struggle. I do my best to stay positive, despite the sinking feeling in my stomach. It's good that there's a trail at all, right? No blood so far. Keep walking for about an hour without finding anything. I'm getting really worried until suddenly, far ahead, I see a very familiar figure shrouded in a morning mist. That's an interesting guess, Knight. My current guess is the dragging marks are him just dragging his feet. He had a bit of a fit, and that's why there was all those signs of a struggle. Like, he just lashed out a bit. Then he just dragged his feet away to cry. Broad shoulders, horns, flowing hair. It's Kuya. It has to be. My heart leaps. I run as fast as I can towards the figure. I'd give anything to hear Kuya's voice again, even if he was just calling me inferior. Rosemary, please. But as I draw closer, I realize it's not Kuya. Now I'm more confused than ever. Oh no! It is someone else from where he is from. It is another Moon Forest person. Oh, he ran away from home because he's got, like, a betrothed or something, doesn't he? Or that's his mom. This person is still a Moon Forester for sure, but who is this? What's going on? Oh, hello there. You must be Rosemary, yes? You're not Kuya. No, and thank the goddess for that. You are Kuya's babysitter, are you not? I am Princess Kato. You are correct, Pravi. Older or younger sister. It would be older. I'm terribly sorry for my little brother's appalling behavior. Little brother? That's right. Kuya has 5 older siblings, doesn't he? I'm sorry, Princess Karu. I'm not a babysitter. I'm a knight, sort of. I'm here to help guide Kuya to Starlight City, but he's gone missing. Oh, I know all about what little Kuya's been up to. Shameful, isn't it? At least you're calling him by his actual name. He didn't make you refer to him as his awesome lordship of holy greatness or anything ridiculous like that, did he? Okay, do we save Kuya's face, or do we just say what it was? Tell the truth or defend our boy? That's 1 vote for each. Ah! 1 vote for each and 1 other. Okay, yeah, let's tell the truth. Oh, for the sake of the goddess, I apologize on his behalf. He's the youngest, but you'd think he'd have learned good sense by now. It's alright, though I didn't really mind that much. Besides, once we slayed a beast together and became brothers, I earned the right to call him by his true name. You what? Oh dear. You poor thing. Please promise me you won't be embarrassed. It really isn't your fault. How could you have possibly known? Okay, I'm confused. What exactly is going on here? Where's Kuya? Is he okay? Oh, he's fine. As soon as I found out that he had left for Mount Needle, I went off to bring him back. He's really not suited for a place like this. Did you say he wanted to take you to Starlight City for the council? Well, that makes sense. He's always been jealous that I get to serve as Moon Forest representative and not him. But there's a reason he's never chosen for that task. He just isn't ready for the responsibility. And really, this little escapade proves that. Did he honestly believe the council will accept him as ambassador of Moon Forest simply because he was the first one to get there? What a ridiculous notion. Really, he might have died if you weren't here to protect him. I must thank you for keeping our dear little Kuya safe. Yep, all... Unsurprisingly, it's all a scam. All a slightly fib. Wait, so is Kuya really a great hunter, or... Great hunter? Oh, that's amazing. You poor thing. He told you nothing of the truth, did he? Let me bring you up to speed. Where to even start? Must be obvious that our dear Kuya has some real delusions of grandeur. The Great Hunt and its sacred hunters, all that is part of a legend passed down among the Moon Foresters for generations. Yeah, he didn't succeed on the hunt. There was no special hunt. I kinda figured that this was the case. It's a story for children. An exciting story, certainly, but that's all it is. The Great Hunters may be based on real historical figures, but even so, such barbaric animal slaughter, with no regard for the balance of nature, has long been a thing of the past. That owns. I like those. We Moon Foresters have moved far beyond that now. I suppose it's our own fault, being so secretive in our ways. The outsiders don't know how we really are. I don't at all blame you for believing Kuya's tall tales of mystical ruffians. Knight. But we're a pacifist kingdom now. Our laws focus on a coexistence with the forest that is ethical as well as spiritual, with a mind for conservation. We chose to stay isolated in order to keep the forest a closed and balanced system, with no outside influences to muck things up. doesn't actually work, but okay. We managed to bring several native Moon's Forest species back from the brink of extinction, you know. Hey, you know what? Fucking right on. That's great. And yes, Kuya is absolutely a nerd. I love this. He's just a nerd. I just stand there, letting the flood of words wash over me. I'd like to say none of this makes sense, but sadly it makes more sense than anything Kuya's told me. Karo seems to notice that I'm staring at her blankly and flashes me an apologetic smile. Oh, I do hope I haven't been prattling on. I get so excited when I think about Moonforest's achievements. I wish outsiders knew more about us. Maybe I'll bring that up at the council this year. All in all, you should know that Kuya's behavior does not represent us. He's probably told you all kinds of stories of his violent deeds. He said that he tore the throat out of a wolf drake for his first kill when he was a baby, and that he once leveled an entire forest of trees with his bare claws. Yep, this seems like a family thing. They just kind of don't shut up. First kill. Preposterous. We haven't celebrated such a thing in Moonforest for hundreds of years. That bit about leveling the trees, that's from The Tale of Moonbeam, a children's fable. Not being a Moonforester, you wouldn't have heard it, but most of us grew up with it. Kuya was always especially enthralled with childish tales of heroism. It's rather sad, actually. He's modeled himself after these fictional heroes because he wants to feel big and powerful, I suppose. He was always the runt of the family and was never given much to do around the palace. Something I do like, by the way, is that Rosemary, the instant that he started actually really caring about Rosemary is the instant that she picked him up with her hands and then leaped over a boar. Rosemary's done some fucking badass shit, and he always just grew up with thinking they're legend, like, oh, no one can be this impressive. And then Rosemary just casually picks him up entirely and then leaps like 10 feet in the air. It isn't that I don't sympathize, mind you, but enough is enough, wouldn't you agree? Yeah, she did some cool-ass legendary knight shit. I can't believe he was wearing that ridiculous warrior getup out here in a freezing mountain. Bad enough when he wears it to family dinners, but at least there it's only embarrassing. Here, he's likely to catch cold. Kuya, don't wear your cosplay to dinner. Don't do that. Don't. How do I know you're telling the truth? You really look like it really looked like somebody kidnapped him. Maybe you're just telling me all this so I stop trying to find him. Where is he now, anyway? My dear, Kuya did not want to leave your side, but I really didn't want to humor him any longer. He fought me tooth and claw, but I was determined to release you from his burden. Of course, he isn't strong enough to stand a chance against me, so his struggling was rather pointless. If it isn't painfully clear by now, little Kuya couldn't slay a fly. Eventually, I did have to bind his wrists because he kept clawing at the poor trees, trying to get away. No, I don't, Robbie. I do not do that. Do you know how bad that is for the environment? He did manage to slip away and run off into the woods a moment ago, but I can't imagine he's gotten far. I was about to go looking for him when I ran into you. She doesn't seem worried at all that Kuya is lost in the mountain again. Oh, my shirt's on inside out. I would not cosplay Miraculous Ladybug because that is a full one-piece suit, and that would be a little uncomfortable. The only thing Karo seems to have in common with her brother is that they're both super condescending. Correct. Well, I'm going to find him again. You stay here and wait. I don't need your help to bring him back safely. I don't care if you think he's ridiculous. He's my friend and I care about him. And I want to be the one to make sure he's okay. That's fine with me, my dear. I'm quite exhausted from hauling him around all morning. And I wouldn't mind letting you take over for now. But tell me, now that you know the truth about him, are you really all that surprised? It's adorable that you care about him, but did you ever truly believe he was the great hunter he said he was? I only ask to satisfy my curiosity, mind you. I know you're an outsider, but surely you weren't silly enough to be fooled. Okay, I like this. I like that it's not a, I never doubted him and no, I doubted him. It's, I never doubted him and fuck you. Don't be mean. So what answer do we do? Do we explicitly say, fuck you? Or like, he's our boy? Basically, it's like, are we aggressive to her or are we protective of him? Aggressive or protective? I would say the first option. Just cut straight to the chase. You're being a shit. Yeah. Karo, you're being a piece of shit. I'm not saying Kuya was never immature, but you shouldn't write him off so quite quickly. It seems to me that he acts that way because you all made him feel like he has to. Like that's the only way you'd ever think he was worth anything. Kuya's not just a runt. He's brave and imaginative and sweet in his own strange way. If you just give him a little attention, you'd see that. Hey now, that's uncalled for. You know nothing of what it's like in our family home. For all you know, we lavish attention and love on Kuya, and he still acts like a brat. You know what? Rosemary had a very good point, but also Karo has a good point here. Except there's a certain tinge of sadness to the way he's doing this that makes me feel like she's wrong, though. Maybe that's true, but you can't deny that Kuya acts that way because he just wants somebody to believe in him for once. I don't care if Kuya is a great hunter or not. I believe in him anyway. It's only when I say this out loud that I realize I really do believe in Kuya, in spite of it all. I turn away and stride into the forest without giving Karo a change to respond. Oopsies. Oops. Typo. I mean, visual novels have typos sometimes. It's fine. It's up to me to find Kuya and bring him back safe. Doesn't take long to find him. It's not snowing, so his footsteps aren't left uncovered. There, leaning against a boulder, with his wrists bound and head bowed, is Kuya. Approach him carefully and place a hand gently on his shoulder. I expect him to be angry, to give me some lecture about how it's improper for a lowly outsider to lay a hand on a hunter prince. Instead, he looks up at me with tears in his eyes. He doesn't bother trying to hide them now.
I guess you talked to my sister, huh? She told you everything?
Sad, soft little boy. Sad, soft big boy. I love him. Yeah, she did. Is it all true?
It is. All of it. I'm sorry I lied to you. I just wanted you to think I was somebody. I want everyone to think that, even though I'm not. I'm just the runt of the family, the one no one wanted. I read those old stories about Moon Forest in the olden days, and I thought there would be nothing better than being a great hunter like that. But I went on a hunt. I'd probably get killed on the first night.
Good thing it's not real then, huh?
Yeah. I guess I thought that maybe coming out here would make me stronger. I might even slay a beast and win the respect of my people, just like the hunters of the old days.
Sad, firm little big boy. Thank you, Trabi.
Or at least I'd sneak off to Starlight City for the council, even though they'd never let me attend. Maybe I could prove to them I'm ready for it. But when I met you, I realized you are brave and strong, and I'm nothing like you. But because I'm bigger than you, you couldn't tell how weak I really am. You actually thought I was a tough guy. No one's ever thought I was anything but a runt, no matter how much I tried to pretend. I got so carried away.
Kuya.
Can you believe it? I actually met a real hero. Somebody worthy of being a great hunter.
Ah, fuck my throat.
And I acted like a mean-spirited, arrogant fool and ruined it. I'm no better than my stupid brothers and sisters. Can you ever forgive me?
Hey, this is a good question. Do we forgive him, or do we forgive him with the we forgive you, but you gotta be better, man? Or do we forgive him wholeheartedly? This is a tough fucking question. Gonna slap down a save right here. Yeah, he wants to be better, clearly. Yeah, honestly, that's how I'm leaning to. So that's... one vote for this, one vote for this. That's tough. Shit, do we be harsh? Harsh but fair, or comforting? Harsh and fair or comforting? That's a fair point, probably. I'm sure Rosemary will say it in a very polite way. Where like, she's not going to be hard on him. Jesus, Knight. You really shouldn't have been so mean to me, you know? I mean, haven't you had enough of your brothers and sisters treating you badly? You should know how it feels when somebody's a jerk to you, just to make themselves feel big. You shouldn't have lied to me either. Kuya doesn't argue, he just hangs his head. I can tell he knows what I'm saying is right.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm such a fool. I wanted to impress you this whole time. Ever since I saw you fight that Razorback, I've been head over heels for you.
Really? And that's why you were acting so different last night?
Yes, but I messed everything up, like I always do.
Rosemary is a little focused. Hold on, you haven't messed everything up. You can still make it up to me.
Huh? I can?
Of course. You just have to do better next time. I know you can do it. I believe in you. And hey, I'll give you pointers if you mess up, since I'm so awesome and all. Fuck yeah, Rosemary's fucking smooth. I like those.
You will? Does that mean you can keep hanging out?
Hanging out? Is that what we've been doing? But yes, I'd like that. Kuya looks at me with that big, cute, puppy-like smile of him. I love the puppy beast, the puppy man with horns. The big, soft puppy baby. I love Kuya. Kuya is amazing. Oh, right, he's fucking bound this entire time. He has had his hands tied behind his back this entire time. I just can't help it anymore. I lean in and kiss him. Smack. Right in the... This is the first time I've ever kissed anyone. This is a good piece of art. I like this. This is the first time I've ever kissed anyone. I'm glad it's with him. With the snow swirling around us, he's an oasis of warmth. Kuya leans into me, and I put my arms around him, drawing him close. No. No, I will not, Kuya. You stay with your hands tied up. That's fine. That's fine.
Please, don't take me back to Karu yet. I want to stay like this for as long as possible.
Let's stay here forever, then. Jesus! That's heavy. I feel the hard muscles on his chest and arms, rubbing them gently with my bare hands. It's embarrassing to admit, but I'm so glad I finally get to do this. Moon foresters must all be huge if a guy like as beefy as this could be considered weak. Maybe. I don't care about that, though. Kuya is perfect to me. Feel the scrape of his sharp teeth on my lips. He's being really gentle. There's something intoxicating about being so close to those huge fangs, knowing they would never hurt me. The great hunter, so strong and fierce. Well, close enough. I reach up to touch his hair and my hands brush against one of his horns. Oh no! No, I'm not reading this one. Nope! Goodbye! Oh, that... Kuya, it feels silly to say this out loud, but do you remember when I accidentally touched your chest? It's pretty horny, to a degree.
Of course I do. It's hard for me to forget.
Me too. Well, I was thinking... Fuck! Since I got to touch yours, it's only fair that you get to touch mine. Jesus! I mean, if you want to.
I'd love to, but I can't.
Oh? Is it a Moon Forester rule or something?
No, it's because my wrists are tied up.
Oh my fucking god! That's good. I knew they were going to do something with this, but fuck, that's good. It's very heavily implied horniness. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. I almost completely forgot.
It's okay. I
like it? Goodness! Should I leave them tied then? Unfortunately, our time together gets cut short by an unwelcome appearance stomping through the trees to find us. Oh no!
What is it? Is it Karo?
Worse. The Razorback! With his bloody eye and deadly tusks, has found us again. I take open my dagger and slice open Kuya's bindings. It would have been fun to leave them on, but that time has passed. Fuck! Okay. Recenter my face, which hurts from laughing. Slide my greatsword out of its sheath. There aren't a lot of visible escape routes, but maybe I can hold this thing off long enough for Kuya to get to safety. I have to try. I know how much he's relying on me.
Rosemary, what are we going to do?
It's okay. Just stay behind me.
What in the name of the goddesses are you two doing?
I've been waiting long enough.
Oh.
As if the situation weren't bad enough, Karo comes wandering cluelessly out to find us, but stops short when she sees the Razorback. We watch in horror as the Razorback, distracted by the sudden sound, charges at Karo.
Karo!
Kuya, claws bared and snarling, lunges towards the beast, but I stop him with a hand. Kuya, wait. I've got a plan. Let's use your sister as bait. But you've got to get yourself to safety. Let me handle this myself, okay? Kuya hesitates a moment, then relents. He smiles and kisses me softly before hurrying away. While I make noise to draw the Razorback's attention, Kuya sneaks through the trees towards Karo. I hope this works. The Razorback snorts and stamps at the snow. It lowers its head to charge. That's it! I sheath my sword and wait. this will work, I have to let the Razorback get real close. Oh, absolutely! 100%! This is correct! This is exactly the sort of thing that you would want when you're going into something like this. A cute, fluffy, a little horny, but cute and good. Here it comes.
What happened?
I remembered it all at once. The Razorback's strange secret weakness.
Huh? What's it? Did you kill it by instantly by stabbing the one weak spot or something?
Not even close. Oh, look at how cute it is. The Razorback isn't a naturally aggressive animal, unless you scare it or hurt it real bad, like we did. Otherwise, it's pretty tame. The way you calm it down is by rubbing its ears, which are very sensitive, and velvety soft, too. Of course, the problem is figuring out how to rub its ears when it's charging and ready to rip you to shreds. I guess I got lucky. I shift my grip and rub the Razorback's ear tenderly between my thumb and forefinger. It shudders all over and lets out a low hum of pleasure. If it didn't know any better, I'd say it was purring. Ah, see? Metaphor. Metaphor. Symbolism. She has tamed the beast, and tamed the beast. Yeah, we're not gonna get into any trouble from this cutie anymore. Isn't that funny? Seems so scary, but all it needed was a little love. Now it's a big ol' softie. What do you think? Should we call it Tusky?
Wow, you outsiders are terrible at naming things.
I find that I can lead the Razorback wherever I want by tugging gently on its ears. Kara is pretty bruised up. The fall knocked her out cold. She's lucky she's not fucking dead. Thankfully, though, she's not hurt too badly. Together, we lift her unconscious body onto the Razorback and head off for Starlight City. Knowing Karo is going to be okay, Kuya relaxes. Puts his arm around my waist, resting his head on my shoulder. Aww. The sun is just starting to set, and it's getting colder, but with Kuya leaning into me, I feel warm and safe.
You know, Rosemary, there's an old moon forest fable that goes kind of like this. The great hunter goes to save his lady, love, from a fierce dragon. But instead of killing it, he ends up taming the dragon, so together they can fly home on its back.
You know, that's an idea. We should tell Karo that Kuya did it.
What I'm trying to say is, if I thought you might make a good hunter before, I know it now. You'd be the best of them all, I think.
It's a very nice thing to say, but it makes me feel sad more than anything. It's Kuya who desperately wanted to be like the great hunters, not me.
When I came to Mount Needle, I wanted to prove something. I'd make it to Starlight City all by myself, maybe even slay some ferocious beasts along the way. I was tired of everyone thinking of me as a weakling. For some reason, I thought this adventure could fix that. But when I met you, I realized something. There's no shame in being weaker than someone like you, Rosemary. I guess what I'm saying is, I don't mind being protected if you're the one protecting me.
That's when I realized that I don't want to say goodbye once this job is over. I want to stay by his side. I want to be his champion. It's been a strange and surprising journey, but against all odds, Prince Kuya has become precious to me. I lean in to kiss him, his arms tighten around my waist.
Rosemary, I am royalty. I have the power to dub you a knight. From now on, will you be my knight?
It would be my honor, Prince Kuya. Shortly before we arrive in Starlight City, I send the Razorback off into the woods. I'll miss the big ol' cutie pie. Kara wakes up shortly after. She's upbeat and energetic, if a bit sore. Soon we're in the city, which is just as beautiful and overwhelming as I imagined it to be. Dearest Rosemary, I must thank you. You risked life and limb to save us both. It's safe to say you've gone above and beyond what Kuya hired you to do. And once again, I can't apologize enough for my brother's behavior. Please don't cast all Moon Foresters in with his lot. It's okay. I was happy to help you both. And Kuya already apologized to me, so, it's all good. Kuya and I smile at each other and blush. Karo notices this and sighs heavily. Well, if this outstanding woman can find it in her heart to forgive you, Kuya, I suppose I can too. You made it this far. Would you like to join me at the council this year? As long as you're seen and not heard, of course. I don't know. I'm not sure what I want anymore. I think right now I'd just like to go home. I wouldn't mind showing Rosemary about around Moonforest, too. I mean, if you'd want to? Oh yeah, that'd be amazing. I'm sure that would be wonderful, but it's also quite impossible, Kuya. Don't put any more foolish ideas into this poor girl's head. You know as well as I do that outsiders are not allowed to visit Moonforest except in emergency circumstances. You being love-struck is hardly an emergency circumstance. What? But I'm a prince! That means I get to make the rules, right? I want Rosemary to come with me. You are a prince who is on thin ice, and you know it. Don't push your luck. An outsider visit is out of the question. It's absolutely final. So, this is goodbye then. I hadn't been thinking about our future, but I guess I should have seen this coming. Moonforest is completely isolated and secretive, after all. There's no way they would have let me come just waltzing in for no reason. If Rosemary can't come home with me, then I'm not coming home. Kuya's got a booty emergency night. Come on. What? What? Karo, you know that I'm not happy at home. No one at home is happy with me either. Maybe the palace just isn't the right place for me. Rosemary travels all over the land, going on adventures and learning things. That's what I want to do too. I know I'm not a great hunter. I never will be. And maybe I could at least try something new and learn something, maybe. I can't do that at home. And it'd be worth it just to be with Rosemary. Besides, you know I'll be safe with her. You've seen how amazing she is. I know I'm weak, but I'll be okay as long as I'm with her. You can trust Rosemary with my life, I promise. Right? He looks at me with that big, hopeful smile. I smile back, but try not to get my hopes up. It all sounds too good to be true. To my surprise, Karo smiles at us, too. You're more mature than I thought, Kuya. Rosemary, would you swear on your honor to keep my brother safe in your travels? And perhaps let me come home to visit once in a while? 5 minutes later, Kuya was dead. My heart leaps, and for a moment I'm too excited to know what to say. Yes, of course. I am sworn to protect Kuya on my honor as his knight. Very well. Take good care of him. Kuya, you might find it hard to believe, but I will miss you. I'll miss you too, Karo. We say our goodbyes, and Karo leaves to attend the council alone. Now it's just me and Kuya alone together, free to make our own future. It's just you and me now. What should we do first? Funny to hear you ask for my advice for once. Sorry. How's this? Lonely outsider! Tell me what we should do now! Please. Well, there's a lot we could do. I was thinking of traveling to the Western Islands next. Of course, before we go, I'd like to give you some sword fighting lessons. That sounds great and all. It does, but I was thinking that maybe we could just take a break first. That sounds perfect. Woof. I take his hand in mine, and together we walk through the city, ready for our next adventure. Thank you for playing Rose of Winter! Created and written by Magnolia Porter. Not Pearl, Porter. And yeah, music by Toby Fox. I'm gonna let the credits roll a bit and rest my... I also like that true Robbie. And yes, we are going to do another one. Don't worry. But I need to fill up my water I still have some water, but I need more. The good news is, none of the other people we do next is going to have a voice like that. Wait, hold up! Did the special thanks say every flavor of LaCroix? LaCroix? What? I think it did. Okay. I will be right back. I'm gonna get some water. And we can all then decide on who we're gonna do next. I know we have a vote for Tarun, the Dragon Prince. So I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. I've got water. Let's resume. We've got one vote for the Prince of Dragons. So we go with the Dragon Prince, the Scruffy Hottie, or Uncle Faulkner. Because these are all pretty excellent choices. I mean, Knight, you're the one who voted for Dragon. I think you did. Oh, wait. Yeah. Yeah, Trobby was the one who said Dragon. Ah, right, yeah. Yeah, right, at the start of the stream, Zero Wolf said the Dragon Prince. And Trobby said Dragon Prince as well, so... And yeah, I mean, next week we are going to finish... Next week we are going to do whoever didn't get done. Don't worry. Because this is great. I love this. So yeah, let's go with Tarun, the Prince of Dragons. Also, there are probably multiple endings, but I think I'm only going to do one of each, and just we get what we get. All the arrangements have been made, so I go downstairs to tell Tarun I'm ready to go. I'm nervous about meeting a real dragon, but I put on a cheerful face. Yeah, this has been fantastic. It helps that we started with a very strong storyline, though. Oh my goodness. Look at how bundled up he is. So, yeah, I have my supplies and everything's all set. Oh, I'm Rosemary, by the way. I'm grateful for your help, Rosemary. I don't often travel in this form. It can be taxing. I expect to need quite a bit of your assistance. Yeah, this guy is fucking ready for the mountains. No problem. That's what I'm here for. Wow, you've got a lot of layers on there. Cold weather does not agree with me. These robes may look silly to you, but they are necessary. Oh, I didn't mean to say that you look silly. It just, never mind. I hope I didn't embarrass him. I can't really tell. His face is as tranquil as ever. Gotta be more careful with what I say. Pretty much looks like a normal person, so it's easy to forget he's not human. But you have to remember what he really is. Most people don't ever have an opportunity to see a dragon, much less talk to one. I'm in a rare position, which is cool, and also terrifying. And again, he's not as intimidating as I expected. Just strange and sort of pretty. The conference at Starlight City is several days away, but I'd like to get across the mountain as fast as possible. The sooner I get out of this cold, the better. Yes! Femboy with all the... Pretty boy with all the coats. And then Max, shirtless hunk man. Oh, yes, of course. What should I call you? Your Highness? I am not a Highness. I am Tarun. But I've never cared what humans call me. Use whatever name you like. Okay then. Tarun it is. Let's go. We start walking together. The snow under our feet is thick, but the sun is shining. Actually, kinda nice out. Tarun hasn't said a word so far. He stares ahead at the path in front of us as if I'm not even here. Should I make small talk? I don't think he minds the silence, but this is awkward. What do dragons even talk about, though? I guess I'll have to wing it and hope something sticks. I've, never met a dragon before. Besides you, obviously. Pretty decent weather, right? For a frozen mountain of death, that is. Yep. This is a perfect contrast. I love this. Ellipses. You know, for a fire dragon, you're good at giving the cold shoulder. Fucking Christ, Rosemary, that's brutal. That was meant to amuse me, I suppose. Yeah, I guess so. Wow, good one, Rosemary. Very smooth. Perfect opposites. We walk in silence for a few minutes longer. But a knight doesn't give up that easily. There's gotta be something he'll talk about. So, what is this thing in Starlight City all about? It's a big deal, right? Business between the dragons and human lawmakers. We must confer and maintain our peace accord. We do our best to respect you and live side by side. The dragons live by much older laws than you humans wrote. Conflicts arise from time to time. Yes, I got him to talk. Now I just have to keep this ball rolling. Oh yeah? What older laws are those? Do you really want to know? Why wouldn't I? The laws of the wind, the sun and moon, birth and death, churning together in time until there is no distinction between them. The salt and water churns together to make the sea. The pulse of the earth shakes our blood, because the earth is our blood, and we are guided by the will of the stars. The lives of all creatures are within in starlight, but only dragons read the words. For we were born from the stars and know ourselves to be whole, when the rest of the world was unshaped clay, waiting to be given form. Oh, that's, neat. Oh, God. That's... I'm not gonna say anything, but... mood. I've been there. Well, I can't think of anything to say to that. Tarun is quiet again. Well, I can't say I didn't try. We've been walking a while now. Tarun is going slowly, trailing a bit behind me. I don't mind walking ahead of him if it means giving him some space. See, the funny thing is, the thing that Kuya said is definitely insulting and kind of intended to be. But Tarun means no offense at all. Which makes it worse. I'm not sure he likes me very much. Still early in the day and the snow blazes white in the sun. I can hear it crunch under my boots and... Wait, there's no crunching footsteps behind me. I don't think he thinks like that. I think it's more of a case of ancient Inui. He is very bored. Also, I noticed he was getting further away as the scene went on. Uh-oh. He may have fallen over in the snow. Did Tarun stop walking? Oh gosh, did I lose him? I whip around, but he's just standing there, a few yards back. I can't tell what he's trying to do. Sort of wobbling in place. Like a turtle that got flipped on its back. I guess those heavy robes don't give him much room to move. Tarun? Ellipses. Once I get closer, I see the problem. One of his huge scars is caught on a thorn bush, and he's been trying unsuccessfully to pull himself free. Why doesn't he just tangle it with his hands? He did say that he's not used to his human form, but he has to know it would be easier that way, right? I'm not sure what to do. I mean, he's like a million years older than me. He said he needed my help, but I don't want to insult him either. Okay, this feels pretty obvious, but fucking girl help! Girl help! That's one vote for girl help. Yes. We have to help this poor turtle, man. It's gonna rip his clothes if he keeps that up, and that will just make it worse. I grab hold of his scarf. My arms brush against his body as they lean over him. He stops wobbling and gets very still at my touch. Look, it's not like I'm doing it on purpose. Walking slowly and carefully, I manage to get the scarf unhooked from the thorns. There you go. The scarf has come undone, and he's already trembling even though he has tons more layers. I knew he was sensitive, but I had no idea it was this bad. Physical contact with boy, but instead of going like face first into his chest, it's just like kind of brushing up against his neck a bit. Do you want me to help you tie it back on? That would be very kind. If he's embarrassed, I have no way of knowing. Nobody does a poker face like a dragon, apparently. Makes me nervous. Fold the scarf back around his shoulders as gently as I can. It's amazing how light and small his body seems now that I'm handling it up close. His hands seem so big next to him. But my hands. Makes me feel ungainly, but when I'm done, the scarf looks nice enough. Is it warm enough? I can tie it again if you want. It will do. Thank you. It seems I can count on you for help after all. I'm glad of that. So, you're not mad? You helped me when I needed it. Should I be angry? I guess not. You're, different, you know? I don't really know how to act, and I don't want to offend you. Ah, I see. Don't worry yourself about such things. I don't think you could offend me even if you tried. Because you're like an ancient being and beyond all that stuff? No, because you are very sweet. Fucking goddamn! Damn. That's good. That is a good lad. Straight to the point and fucking smooth. I'd die. If I had this happen to me, I'd just die. I would just die. Oh, thank you. Anyway, don't worry about the scarf. Happens to the best of us. Sort of. Can I ask, though? Did it occur to you to just use your hands? I don't feel comfortable using them. The thorns are sharp. They're so sharp, and these fingers seem so very frail and new. Yeah! It's a great It's a great parallel. I can't wait to see how the scruffy, haughty babysitter and the uncle contrast. Oh, sure. You can tell hands like these have never seen a day's work. Without thinking, I take his hand in mine. My own fingers are thick and calloused, and like the rest of my body, quite large. His hands are long, soft, and smooth. They're dusted with white scales that look delicate and fragile like glittering jewelry. Jesus fucking Christ, this guy is pretty. I like him. A strange observation, but I suppose you are correct. I have no need to bustle about and keep myself busy as you humans seem to. Oh my gosh, I just grabbed his hand without thinking, without even asking. He... What on earth is the matter with me? I drop it like a hot potato. Sorry. Oh my gosh, I'm so thoughtless sometimes. Why apologize? Your hands are warm. It felt nice. We dragons live our lives mostly in isolation. Human touch is a curious novelty. He reaches up to touch my face. My heart starts to flutter like a trapped bird. However, he seems to think better of it and withdraws. But if you are sensitive to such things, I will respect your boundaries, as you respect mine. With that, Tarun tucks his hands back into under his robes and moves on. I stand still for a moment, watching him. I haven't quite calmed down yet. It's snowing harder now, which makes the going more difficult. All his bundled up layers give him an awkward, ungainly shape. But there is something in his calm certainty that gives him dignity, even beauty, as he makes his way through the ice. The difficulties of dealing with the nicest boy. At least until he gracelessly trips and falls flat on his face. Oh no! No! I knew this would happen at some point, but no! This poor little turtle. Goodness, are you okay? I rush over to help, propping him up and brushing away the snow and ice. Ellipses. I am not used to this form. It's like being a fledgling again. Really, you shouldn't worry about it. I'm clumsy about all kinds of things myself. It is, in fact, quite difficult to move when you're wearing at least 5 coats. Oh, which isn't to say that you're clumsy. I just mean, sorry. Rosemary, enough apologizing. ... Tarun doesn't say anything either. He just stares into me. He hasn't spoken to me so sharply before. For a moment, I can't think of anything else to say. Those golden eyes are intense. What is he thinking? Finally, he rests his hand on my shoulder. I shall have to stay close to you, in case these legs fail me again. I may even need to take hold of your arm, if you don't mind. He's fucking into us straight away. Sure, yeah. That's fine. Good idea. Keeps his hand on me as I help him up. His fingers are so long and pretty. I try not to stare too much. And so, we set off walking again. This time he doesn't lag behind or move ahead. We're side by side. Every so often, he stumbles a bit and leans against me, or delicately hooks his arm around mine. Oh, there is a chance that he doesn't get it, but he may get it and just be into us. I'm going slow to make it easy for him, but we manage to keep a steady pace and walk for a few more hours. We don't talk much, but somehow I don't feel so awkward anymore. We're communicating more easily with just touch. When he presses lightly on my shoulder, I know to help him over a hurdle. When he leans slightly away, I know he's doing fine and can walk a little faster. We fall into a nice rhythm. Occasionally, he even smiles at me. He's strange and distant, but I'm getting used to him. Eventually, though, the path gets a lot steeper. It's nothing I can't handle, but I worry about him. It's almost twilight, and the snow falls heavier and heavier. Are you doing okay? You're shivering. It's just this body. I'm not used to it. The slightest breeze seems to go through me. So he's still feeling the cold, even with all those layers. Poor thing. This is true, by the way. In exceptionally cold weather, it doesn't actually matter how many layers you're wearing. The wind will cut right through you. It is a knife that the instant it finds any purchase, just right through to the core. I've had days where it's been so cold I could feel my bones. Okay. Difficult question time, folks. Do we take a moment to rest, or do we give him a hug? Do we do a whole arm around the shoulder? Gotta be the arm, right? I think so. We gotta vote for arm. Do we have any other votes? Fair point, Knight. And you know what, Trobby? That's a good point. But we've got the votes say to give him a hug, so we're going to give him a hug. Put my arm around Tarun. Without missing a beat, he presses himself into me. A surprise, but I don't mind. I rub his back, trying to help him get warm. After a moment, he stops shivering so much, so I guess it's helping. And I admit it feels nice, having an excuse to touch him. He leans his head against me and breathes deep, smelling my hair. Fuck! No! Okay! Tarun doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't get the intimacy of this. Don't smell someone's fucking hair! Like, on purpose. Uh-oh. Uh-oh! Ellipses. Ellipses! Oh no! Tarun seems upset. Oh no! Ah! Tarun! He jumps away, like I've terrified him. I don't even know he could move that fast. Hey, you're gonna get me cold. Quiet. I'm fine. He's obviously not fine, but he turns and rushes ahead of me without looking back. Before long, he stumbles and falls into the snow. I rush over to help, but he lashes out to push me away. His sharp fingernails scratch my skin. Not enough to draw blood, but I'm stunned. It's like a cat that I trusted suddenly hissing at me out of nowhere. Oh god! Oh no! Oh, this is not great! We did the wrong thing! Oh no! Slowly, clumsily, he pulls himself up, without my help. He winces when his bare hands have to touch snow. Damn it, we should have been responsible! We got too obsessed with the skinship! Damn it! I don't get it. Why is he acting like this? Did I do something wrong? We keep walking. Tarun is shivering again, but he won't slow down. I'm not sure what happened back there. I can still feel the sting of his claws on my skin. To my surprise, Tarun is the one who breaks the silence. I am sorry if my behavior is confusing. You should know that you haven't done anything wrong. Oh, he's... You know what? 100% I get that. He is, after all, a dragon. He is many years old. He is well aware of how fragile we are as human. What was that all about, anyway? I take it you don't know much about dragons. Huh? Why is he bringing that up? I guess not. I just know the old stories, the ones they tell you when you're a kid. But those fairy tales are mostly made up, aren't they? Dragons capturing maidens and devouring villagers. What if he is getting dragon urges What if he wants to kidnap us? What if he's secretly kind of fucked up a little bit? Just a little. Like, he's getting that impulse to kidnap. Like, oh no, this girl is super duper cute and lovely. I'm getting the dragon urge to do a kidnapping. That'd be hilarious, actually. You guys aren't like that in real life. I wasn't sure if I should ask about it, though. Why not? Are you frightened of me? Am I? I hadn't thought about that. Not in any serious way. He's so frail and fragile, I can't see him as some monstrous beast. But then, once or twice, I caught a glimpse of something. Something strange inside of him. And when I start really thinking about his true nature, I feel dizzy. Like I'm looking into a well and I can't see the bottom. I don't like it. Tarun chuckles darkly, and I realize I haven't said anything out loud yet. You're taking a long time. Is it such a hard question to answer? I'm not sure how I feel, exactly. Tell me this. Which dragon stories do you know? What, the stuff for kids? Come on, you don't want to hear that. I certainly do. A human perspective can be illuminating. Oh, well, in that case, the one I know best is the story of Camellia. You probably heard that one, right? It's famous. Camellia. Please, refresh my memory. I am old, and these things run away from me over the years. I feel silly telling bedtime stories, but hey, you asked for it. Let's see. Camellia and the Dragon. She was this woman, the most beautiful in her village, right? She could have married any man, but instead she was wooed by a terrifying dragon. No offense. None taken. That's a good gag. That's a good gag. The dragon promised her eternal love, and riches and glory beyond what anyone in the poor village could ever hope to give her. So Camellia fell in love with this dragon, who was named White Heat, and chose him out of all her suitors. Now, obviously, Tarun is going to be White Heat. Like, that's just obvious. The dragon flew her away from the village, promising her safety in his mountain lair. Once they got there, he devoured her, and she was never seen again. Oh! I quickly cut myself off. Why was I so blunt about the devouring part? That must be, like, super rude. But Tarun says nothing. He's not even looking at me. So I guess the point is, don't pick a guy just because he promised you lots of material things? True. I always thought that was sad. Did she deserve to die just for wanting a better life? On the other hand, maybe that's just what really happens. People getting deceived by their lovers and stuff like that. I don't know much about relationships, so... You may be overthinking the story's moral. It sounds to me like a simple warning. Stay away from dragons. Tarun turns to stare right into me. His face is passive, but something in his eyes puts me on edge. I'm flustered, but I won't shy away. I stare right back, without flinching. I don't know. You're a dragon, and you're nice enough to me. Huh. You are very polite. What if that story is true? What if I told you that I was that dragon, and Camellia my lover? Lover I betrayed and devoured. Would you still think of me as so nice? What? No, that can't be true. You're just kidding around with me. Right? I do not kid around. I am many centuries old. The story of Camellia and the dragon has endured, where other tales were forgotten. It must have a certain resonance. But everyone knows it's just a made-up fairy tale. Is that so? Tell me, what was the dragon's name again? White Heat? And what does Tarun mean in the southern language? I only studied a little bit when I was a girl. I know Ter means white and... Oh. So you see, I am called Tarun in the south. There are many words for what I am, but I like that name best. It is him. Fuck. Well, that's not great. That's concerning. To Rhyme. I am called Prince because my mother is called Queen, although we dragons have no such title for ourselves. But dragons being monsters and eating people, that's just a fairy tale thing. Or at least real dragons only did that for a long time ago. Now we all live together and peacefully. That's the whole reason you're going to Starlight City, isn't it? To keep the peace between dragons and humans? You're right. It was a long time ago that I know Camellia. A different time, more wild, and in many ways, more honest. It's true that we no longer eat humans, yet we all remember how you taste. I know what the issue is. I know what the issue is now. He had a bad thought when he was getting real close to us. Tarun started sniffing our Rosemary's hair, and that lizard part of his brain went, "She smells delicious," and it fucking set him off. It made him fucking disgusted with himself. That is what it is going to be. He is afraid that of his dragon instincts. Who could forget? For a dragon, human meat is by far the most delicious, nearly irresistible. And I knew, just from her smell, that Camellia would taste better than any other. She was a human worth savoring. You smell very much like her, Rosemary. I feel very cold inside, and not because of the snow. No. Oh god. Oh no. I really, really, really hope he means metaphorically. Our truce with humans has let us live in peace for many years. Until now. I haven't yet told you the true purpose of our conference, Rosemary. It is to address the breaking of that truce by one of my kin. A dragon has been eating humans. Very many of them. A dragon's occasional slip-up can be overlooked, but this is becoming a crisis for your people, and he is unrepentant. But why would he do that? Because he's hungry, and he's a shithead. I can't pretend I don't understand his actions. It's why I've chosen to stay isolated from them for so many years. The mere smell can be overwhelming. He looks right at me as he says this. I take a few steps back. As a result of this dragon's actions, our peace agreement may be dismantled. If that happens, our future is uncertain. Even the stars don't seem to know. But you're not like that. You've chosen not to eat humans, so why are you even telling me this? Are you trying to scare me? Even though they are set in that lovely, delicate face, Tarun's eyes are sharp and fierce. For the first time, I understand fully that I am talking to something ancient, wild, and dangerous. Oh no. Oh no, danger. Danger, danger. I simply want to know, Rosemary. Do you think I'm telling the truth? Do you believe that I devoured Camellia? Shit! Oh no! Well, do you think he ate her? Do you think he ate her? That's a vote for did, that's a vote for no. That's another vote for no, so let's go for the no. I don't think you did. No, I can't imagine you would do something so cruel. I haven't known you very long, but you don't look like a monster to me. You look soft and gentle, I just mean, I can't imagine you'd want to eat me. Don't be so certain of that. A chill runs down my spine. Oh no. My intention is not to frighten you, Rosemary. But you deserve to know what kind of creature you travel with. Let's just stop talking about it for now, okay? We still have a long way to go. He says nothing more, which is fine by me. We keep walking. Tarun's weak human form shivers in the cold, and he holds onto my shoulder for balance. His touch is so light and soft, I can barely feel it. I'm happy to keep him steady. He looks so vulnerable now, it's hard to remember how he made me feel so cold inside. As we walk, I do my best to push these dark thoughts out of my mind. Could he really have the soul of a monster? I never had to wonder about things like this back on the farm. All I wanted was to be a knight and fight stuff with my sword, not worry about anything. A while later, we make camp in a cave for the night. We made a good progress so far. It shouldn't take more than another day to get to the city. Tarun seems exhausted, much more than I would have expected after only a day of travel. His body is shaking again, worse than before. Oops! That name tag's not supposed to be there. Tarun, I'm going to make some barley tea. Would you like some? Or are you hungry for dinner? I do not need to eat, but I will have some tea. And yeah, my personal thought is that he didn't eat her, but his presence consumed her life. And she died, and to him it just felt like such a waste. That is my guess. That is my read on the situation. It's kind of scary how worn out he is, but I decide not to mention it. Instead, I pour us some tea and we drink it together. We're silent for a while. I watch him, trying to guess what he's thinking. You are staring at me. I'm sorry. I can't help but wonder. Are you not hungry because you ate something else? Huh. I had a large meal of fish before leaving for the city. I didn't mean to imply anything else. My apologies if you were on edge. Sorry, it's been hard not to think about that, is all. So, do you mostly eat fish, then? Yes, they are very large where I live. I like to have deer sometimes, when I can get them. I live alone, on a rocky island in the sea. It's much warmer there than here. I feel myself relax. It's nice to talk normally again. Sounds like a nice place. I bet it's pretty. You might think so. Camellia certainly did. Camellia, huh? Let's change the subject. If you're trying to hit on a lady, don't bring up your ex. What kind of stuff do you do during the day? Besides, like, feel the magic of the stars and whatnot. Dragony stuff. Like, counting your gold pile or something? Oh, yes, of course. I also kidnapped a lot of innocent virgins, so you'd better watch yourself, Rosemary. Tarun can tell a joke. I like this guy. Who said I was... Shut up! There you are. My attempt at joking around. Was it funny? I mean, that's basically what she said, Knight. That is almost literally what she said. Yeah, hilarious. No, I don't have a hoard of treasure. I mostly spend my time thinking, remembering. Remembering what? Things that were important to me, or even things that weren't. 2 stags I saw fighting in a forest. A tree felled by lightning. If it happened, it was real. I remember it. My memory goes back a long time. I don't need much more than that. Were you really alive before any humans? You said you were born with the stars or something like that. Dragons themselves have existed since the very beginning. I, myself, am only about 1,000 years old. Yet in dreams, I see the dawn of time, of flashes of my mother's life before me. I wonder if we all don't share the same memory, reaching back to the very first of us. To be honest, it sounds kind of lonely. That's just the kind of thing Camellia would say. You know, Camellia is a type of flower, just like rosemary. I just made that connection. You know, Rosemary, I thought you were angry at me after what we spoke of before. No, not angry, just kind of confused. Dragons really love to eat humans so much. Is it even safe for me to be here with you? I really wasn't trying to frighten you. Believe it or not, I like you. That's why I want to make sure you're safe, and you'll be safer with a full understanding of the situation. Have a good time preparing dinner. I will do my best to not get eaten. Do humans really taste that good to you? It's strange. I remember a time before I had ever seen a human. That when I was weak and cold, I take this form, which looks like a human, or near enough. Has this face lain dormant inside of me, even before I could have been able to recognize it? Or have our encounters with humans caused us to mimic your form? Well, yes. Obviously, but shh. It's weird to me that you, of all people, don't have any answers to these questions. Oh, I don't pretend to understand ancient magic. I just live by it and try to give it some thought now and again. You humans are magnetic, or invasive, to put another way. We dragons have existed before everything, yet humans have had a profound effect on us, more than any other creature in this world. You mean, like, because of how we taste to you? Before humans walked the earth, we ate fish and deer, and drank water and breathed air. None of these things questioned our right to consume them. We took what we needed and slept when we were tired. Sometimes we fought each other, but all disputes were eventually settled by the will of the stars. But when humans arrived, you spoke and felt as we did. You wept and begged, or tried to reason for your lives. Despite all appearances, you seemed to be closer in spirit to dragons than you were to the beasts of the earth. Before humans, a dragon's actions were never right or wrong. But now, we wondered if eating a human was evil. The stars were curiously silent on the subject. You might say that humans brought evil into our world. Perhaps the temptation to do wrong is what makes you so delicious to us dragons. What do you think? I don't know. I think that terms like good and evil are very limited ways to describe the world. That doesn't make me feel any better. It wasn't meant to. You know, it's kind of strange when I hear you talk like that. So I know how I feel here. Yes, he's beyond good and evil. But how about all you? Do you feel confused or do you feel excited? That's one vote for excited. No, not like that, Knight. Not like that. Excited about the philosophical conversation. Does it feel better to do a bad thing you know is bad because it is bad, so doing it feels delectably sinful? I'm going to chalk that up to an excited vote and say, I'm excited about your philosophy. It makes my heart beat faster. Are you sure that isn't just fear? Oh, sure, it's scary. It's just not just that. I left my home, which was cozy and safe, to try and be a knight. I want to live by my sword and my wits, to fight stuff and get strong. You are already strong. Okay, stronger. Sure, I want to be a knight so I can do good things and protect people, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't love the thrill of it. Fighting beasts 10 times my size and going places I've never gone before and staring death in its stupid face. Sounds like that's the kind of world you live in. Makes me wish I was a dragon too. Surprised you would say such a thing. You seem so sweet and kind-hearted to me. Yeah, well, that's how you look to me. Looks can be deceiving. Ellipses. I'm not totally serious. Of course I don't really want to stop being a human or anything like that. Boo! But wow, I don't know how to describe this feeling. You live by strength, take what you need, and don't care about anything else. You're so lucky. I am very tired. Will you help take off my robe so I may sleep? Sure. My hands are trembling. Slowly, carefully, I peel off his robes, layer by layer. I try not to, but when I let my eyes drift to his face, I see him watching me. Feel warm all over. The more robes come off, the more I can feel his body, and the more my hands feel rough and clumsy, dealing with his delicate frame. Underneath his winter layers, he is long and slender. His scales run over his chest and arms. I really want to touch and see what they feel like. But of course I never would. I want to see him. I want to see the dragon boy. He falls asleep quickly, but I lie awake for a little while, watching his slim chest rise and fall. I don't want to take my eyes off of him, but I don't know if it's out of fear or... I imagine we will get a picture of his non-covered up self at some point. Also, hey, remember how I said that the story was about Camellia becoming consumed with the idea of the dragon boyfriend? Hey, Rosemary, you're getting consumed. Or some other feeling. It's harder to describe. The next morning, we set out again at sunrise. I feel refreshed and a little more calm. Tarun, however, is still weakened and exhausted. You need extra help walking today? No, I'll find my footing. It is kind of you to ask, though. He stays close to me as we start down the path. We spoke a great deal about me and my kind yesterday. What about you? I feel I hardly know anything about you. Gosh, I'm not sure what to say. You really want to know about me? I told you, I don't kid around. Remember, my attempt last night didn't go over very well. Good point. Let's see. I grew up on a farm with my parents and my brothers and sisters. As you know, I left home to be a knight. It hasn't worked out well, but I'm trying. A brave and chivalrous knight. I've come across a few of those in my time. You wanted to slay monsters, did you? I guess you could say that. What else? What sort of things do you like? Well, what do you like, folks? Do you like swords? Do you like songs? Do you like flowers? Because those are all pretty good. Those are all likable things. But what do we like the most? I knew one of you were gonna say it. God, I want to... Stop voting in such a way that makes me have to decide shit. Okay. Hold on a second. I have... Out. I have a D20. How do you divide 20 into 3? I'm bad at math. Please help. Okay, thank you, Knight. 17! We are going with flowers. Oh, I like flowers, I guess. I like learning about the old meanings people give them. Like, for example, a red rose means love, yellow rose means jealousy, or a snapdragon means passion. It's kind of hokey, but I like the idea that there's messages in nature all around us. Like you could read it if only you knew the words. Ah, that's a very dragon-y answer, Rosemary. Even if we're all sort of making it up as we go along, I think I'd like to have my own little flower garden someday, if I ever settle down.
What sort of flowers would you grow?
I'm not sure yet. Besides, I won't be ready to settle for a long time. Sorry, I hope that wasn't too boring.
Not at all. You little ones have such short lives. You search for meaning in every detail. I've always found it interesting, the way you collect sentimental trinkets and decorate your homes.
I never thought of it like that, I guess. You don't decorate your lair at all?
Oh, yes, of course. I have a lovely armchair and a floral rug in the southern corner of my cave.
You should definitely go back to not telling jokes.
If you say so. And you don't have a lover?
Fucking damn it, Tarun. That's pretty blunt. Also, I love him. I love him so much. I love Tarun. I love Kuya. They're both excellent. What? What makes you say that?
It's just a guess, although an educated one. Do you?
No. I think Kuya's story is probably the best of them, but we'll see once we get to the end of the game. But what about you?
Not since Camellia.
Camellia. It's so strange to think that she was a real person, someone you actually knew. She must have been really pretty.
She wasn't, actually. She was certainly not the most beautiful woman of any village, as your fairy tale described. Nor, frankly, the smartest, or even the most kind-hearted. But she had a way around her. It made you feel like she was the most important woman in the world, and you would do anything just to make her happy. You remind me of her, in some ways.
Oh, thank you? Although, I'm not sure that was supposed to be a compliment? I mean, I guess. And also, he's talking about someone he might have eaten alive. Yet, those don't sound like the words of the person who killed her. Or do they? He hasn't actually said he did it, but he hasn't denied it either. See, Rosemary, the thing you've got to understand, Rosemary, is that the spoken races, they die eventually, and the Dravanians, they need to hold on to your spirit in some way. So when Nidhogg ate Shiva, it's okay, because that was the ultimate form of love, and she asked to be eaten. It's fine. This is a Final Fantasy XIV reference. That seems likely, Knight. He keeps talking about the ancient ways of dragons and good and evil and stuff. What do I know about things like this anyway? Is love always this complicated? He says nothing more, and we keep on walking. The wind is colder today, the sky clouded over. The journey has been easier than I expected, but Mount Needle may still earn its reputation. We come to a rushing river and find the wreckage of a bridge I've intended us to cross. It's also the only bridge around for miles. Yeah, kinda. Yeah. Well, excuse my language, but this is a bit of a pickle. Son of a fucking bitch.
In my true form, I could step right across a river like this.
And that's definitely not an option?
No,
Even maintaining this useless shape is exhausting in the cold. True, I'll just have to carry you across. Is that entirely necessary? I like the subtle blush that he has. We could walk along the bank and hope we find another bridge, but that might take hours, and we don't even know if there is one. You want to get to the city quickly, right? You'll get wet. You'll get wet, and so will our supplies. We can make a fire and dry up. And anyway, I've come prepared for this kind of thing. The supplies are wrapped up and waterproof. Very well. Tarun draws close to me. I put my arms around his waist and lift. Whoop! So, no special sprite for lifting Tarun, but special sprite for lifting Kuya. Which makes sense. That was an important part of their courtship dynamic. I'm curious what the special sprites will be for this pair. Tarun draws close to me. I put my arms around his waist and lift. Even with his piles of robes, he's shockingly light. He puts his arms around my shoulders. I feel his skin brush just for a moment against my face. Even his scales are light and soft. It's easy to lift him high enough that the water won't touch him. This will be a piece of cake, I hope. Carefully, I step into the rushing water. The current is strong, but the river isn't too deep, or even all that far across. Ideally, I throw a rope across to steady us, but I can't do that while I'm carrying him at the same time. Tarun says nothing, but I feel him shiver in my arms. I can do this, don't worry. I trust you, Rosemary. His body shakes, but his voice is steady. Maybe he really does trust me. Guess I have to trust him too. We start across the river. I take it one step at a time, carefully seeking out good footing so we don't slip. The freezing water rushes around my legs, but I keep my balance. I can feel Tarun holding tight. I won't let him fall. Midway across, the water is up to my chest, but I think that's as high as it will go. We're in good shape. I'm holding Tarun steadily out of the water. Okay, so she's holding him high enough that he's not in the water, and it's up to her fucking chest. That means she's just carrying him above her head, which is an amazing image. Carrying this turtle man. We're almost there. Just a little more. All of a sudden, the wind begins to shriek. Tarun's long hair whips into my face and eyes, and the freezing water froths around us. A blanket of black clouds overtakes the sky. That's all the warning we get, and suddenly the snow crashes down in thick, suffocating sheets. This awful mountain is known for its sudden violent storms that come and go in the blink of an eye. I should have known the weather was too good to be true. Rosemary, don't worry. I've got you. A blast of snow hits me like a cannonball. I fall. Tarun tumbles into the river and disappears into the freezing foam. Oh no! That's bad! It happens so quickly it hardly registers. No! No! I won't let this happen! I can't let this happen! I am a knight, and I will protect my prince! My hands find a jutting rock and grabs hold. I pull myself out of the water and try to make sense of what's happening. My body aches with cold, but every ounce of my strength is dedicated to keeping myself focused. A flash of a scaly arm breaks out of the water ahead, desperately grasping for the air. He's still close enough that I can reach him. Tarun! Hold on, I'm coming! The wind screams, the river roars around me. I block it all out and lunge forward, grabbing hold of Tarun and dragging his body up out of the water. I have no idea how long it takes to make it to the other side. I'm giving everything I have just to hold us together. Tarun is heavy in my arms, soaking wet and freezing, but I hold tight. I'll never let go of him again. So, this is the river where Kuya almost died, and the river where Tarun almost died. Don't trust rivers, folks! We make it out of the river. The snow is heavier than I've ever seen. Tarun looks diminished, pale. His body is shaking violently. I'm scared. You saved me. Are you kidding? I'm the one who put you in danger. Psst, don't know. River is in the concept, not the person. No, it was the river that almost killed me. It would have not for you. My eyes burn with tears. No, there's no time to cry. We won't be safe until I get us somewhere warm. I go to my pack for supplies, but it's ripped apart into jagged rocks when I fell. Our food, tents, medicine, clothes. Everything we need to make a fire for the night. All lost in the river. Damn, we're gonna die. My heart plummets. The only thing left is one thick winter cloak wrapped in sealskin to keep it dry. Cold pounds away at me like a hammer, but Tarun looks much worse. You wear the cloak, Rosemary. You need your strength to save us both. How could you even suggest that? Tarun, you're already sensitive to the cold. You look like you're going about to... I'm much older than you. I have lived through worse than this. But his voice fades even as he says the words. Do we wear the cloak? Or do we give him the cloak? This seems important. This seems very important. Jesus Knight. So that's a vote for give. If you don't have a thing to vote, I will roll again. Watch out. 11! We give him the cloak. I wrap the cloak around Tarun and start moving again. The snow is like knives, sliding through my armor and into my skin. I ignore the pain and carry him as fast as I can. Barely aware of what I'm doing, I manage to find a small cave in the cliffside. Pull us into it. It's cold but dry. I set Tarun down gently, and then my legs collapse out from under me. I'm on the ground. Did I hit my head? I can't remember. Huh? That's strange. I thought I felt fine. But now it's all catching up to me at once. My head swims, my body aches with a cold so sharp it almost burns. I'm fading, but it's okay. No matter what happens to me, at least I kept him safe. That's what a real knight would have done. Minutes or hours might have passed. I have no way of knowing. I wake to find Tarun's burning eyes staring into me once more. His face is so near, but why? Am I dreaming? I had a feeling we'd get something like this. He is put Rosemary into his nest of coats. It is time for shared blanket experience. He kisses me softly on the forehead, and beautiful warmth blooms inside me. If this is a dream, it feels real. He is definitely intended to have that sort of creepy look to him, like he is unsettling. And I'm into it, personally. Another kiss, and another, on my cheeks, my eyelids, my nose. Each touch of his soft mouth sparks a surge of heat all through my body. At last, I feel his kiss on my lips. The heat anchors me to life. I don't know if it's dragon's magic or what, but all I know is that it saves me. You did not do as I said. That was very stupid of you. Yeah, I know. I see he has taken off my armor, which was freezing and wet, leaving me in my underclothes, relatively dry. Which is correct, by the way. If you fall into the cold water, the first thing you do is get the fuck out of your clothes. Because it will kill you. Straight up. If I weren't so exhausted and cold, I might feel embarrassed. Right now, though, I'm just so happy we're both okay. Tarun, our supplies are gone. I don't know how we're going to keep warm. After all that, we might still freeze to death. No, we will not. I cannot take my true form here, but I am still a dragon. His golden eyes begin to glow. Something's happening, but I'm not sure what. Takes my hand in his and guides it beneath his innermost cloak, the press against his slim chest. Just under his scaly skin is what I feel feels like a molten core, blazing hot, a furnace inside him. His dragon heart? I move closer and lay against him. He adjusts his last dry cloak so we are both wrapped in it, sharing the fire blazing inside of him. A warm little bubble, safe from the howling wind. Tarun. Yes, Rosemary? I remembered what I'd learned about Camellia. But before I can tell him, I drop like a stone into sleep. Very romantic. Very almost died. In the morning, in spite of it all, I am refreshed. My joints are stiff and cold, but I'm ready to get them moving. Tarun stirs and brushes my hair gently out of my face. Good morning. Morning. We're still holding each other. I don't think about it, just a natural motion. I lean into him and we share a kiss. Dang. It's just a small one. We barely brush each other's lips. Still, it's my first kiss. Never imagined it would be like this, but he's just so beautiful and so warm. I couldn't help but want to kiss him. Tarun stares at me, then takes my face into his hands. He kisses me again and again, increasingly urgent, increasingly fierce. Okay, so Kuya was the big buff man who was actually soft. Tarun is the soft, gentle man who is actually very forceful. Oh no. That kiss awakened some desperate need inside of him, and now he can't get enough. Oh no. Uh-oh. It's nice, but the way he's pressing his face against mine, it's a little hard to breathe. I don't mind exactly, but I'm a little worried. Oh no, fuck! Suddenly I feel a sharp pain in my lip as he bites down hard. Uh-oh. I pressed the wrong button. Ow! Oh god! The fangs and the eye! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh, please not. Please no. I hope we don't die. I hope we did not find a bad ending. I didn't mean to cry out, but I couldn't help it. Tarun doesn't stop, not immediately. I feel his sharp teeth against my lips. After a moment, though, he seems to freeze in place. Maybe he realized what he was doing. He pulls away and stares at me with wide, scared eyes. No, you didn't have to stop. It's okay. I can't finish my sentence because almost on cue, tears spring to my eyes. I didn't mean to cry. It's just a reaction to the pain in my lips. I try to force it to stop, but that never works. Rosemary, I'm so sorry. No, it's okay. I was just surprised. And it hurts a little, but I don't mind. I really don't. I liked kissing you. He stands and walks quickly away. The sudden loss of his warmth is hard to bear. With his back to me, he struggles to put his winter layers back on, which have dried in the night. His weak hands fumble and slip. Come here. Come on, here. Let me do it. I help him get dressed, but he still won't look at me. Are you mad about the kiss? This could go some pretty rough places. I'm sorry, just let it go. We already lost the night in the storm. It's calm now. We can try to find our food first. Or, no, we're leaving. His tone is final. There's nothing more I can say to him. We leave the cave and start the last leg of our journey. The snow is thick on the ground, but the wind has died down. I'm less worried about that, though, than I am about Tarun's cold silence. He rushes ahead of me, turns so I can't see his face. Tarun, take it slow. We almost died last night. It's okay if you're still weak. I hired you to simply guide me. You do not tell me what to do. What? Where's this coming from? Come on, don't be like that. I just want to help you. Why? Didn't expect to have to explain this. Because I like you. I thought you liked me too. I wouldn't mind kissing you again. That was my first kiss, you know. And yeah, it hurt when you bit me, but I don't really care. My face is burning. I can't believe I'm actually saying this out loud. When Tarun turns to finally face me, he looks angrier than I've ever seen. No, not angry. He looks inhuman. You are young, but you are not a stupid child. Why are you still behaving like one? How much clearer can I be about this? I am a dragon. What you like is this weak body. It is not really me. My real mouth is not soft and gentle. If I were to bite you with it, you would not survive. My fangs are long and are as long as sharp as your sword. I could tear you apart. I could swallow you whole. I want to. Do you understand? I want to eat you. Right now. I want it more than I want to breathe. If you were smart, you'd be scared of me. You'd be afraid for your life. He's hissing, low and dangerous, right in my face. But I've learned not to look away. But I'm not afraid. You didn't eat Camellia, and you won't eat me. When I worked for those scholars, they were learning about her, the woman Camellia was based on. She was a real person, but she wasn't eaten by a dragon. Yeah, this is the skin of a killer, Rosemary! She married a duke and lived to an old age. They thought the dragon was a metaphor for a political struggle, or... I am not a metaphor. But you also didn't eat her. I wanted to. I wanted to eat her so badly. I loved her, and she loved me. We were together for a time. She wanted to be with me forever, but the feelings were so intense. I loved her, but I also wanted what I want with you, right now. I couldn't trust myself, so I forced her to leave. I would have killed her if she hadn't. She cried and screamed for me as I flew away, but she went on to live her own life. I'm very happy for her. How could you do that? What's wrong with you? Weren't you listening? I saved her life. You don't know that. You don't know what you would have done. And anyway, she knew what you were, and she still wanted to be with you. Maybe she thought the risk was worth it, or maybe she was tougher than you thought. Either way, she made her choice. If you really loved her, you should have respected that. I bet she never forgot you, just like you never forgot about her. But she had to live her whole life without you, and now she's dead. It's too late. Oh, it's too awful to even think about. You have a young person's idea of love. She married a duke, and I'm sure she was happy, eventually. True love isn't worth risking everything for. Maybe, but that doesn't mean that what she felt wasn't real. This is actually kinda heavy. There is a lot of really interesting stuff that could be read into this as, like, a potential mediation on potentially toxic people in your life. He wants to eat her. He won't, but does that desire matter? We know that it's possible for him to slip up. It's an interesting question, I think. You should have honored that, and what I feel is real too. What you feel? I like you, Tarun, and after we're done with the job, I want to see you again. I'm curious, do dragons fall in love with each other? Not in any way a human would recognize, and not in ways that last. When we began to meet and talk with humans, some of us began to share that feeling for the first time, though we did not know what it was. That's what I thought. So, as a human, I might even understand more about love than you do. Please, listen to me. To eat a human is to taste sweet ambrosia. It's even better if it's an exceptional person, like Camellia or you. How do I know what I feel for you? It's impossible to tell if I love you or if I just want you. Fuck! That's good. That's a good, question. That is an interesting subject to have for your romance game. Well, what answer do we give? Do we trust that he would never eat us, or do we admit that even if he may eat us, we can handle it? Yeah, this is a relationship that feels a little too dangerous. And okay, you may try to eat me, but I can handle it. You can try to eat me if you really can't help it. But remember, I'm a knight. Knights slay dragons. If you try it, I'll have to fight back. Trust me, I won't go easy on you. I've slain plenty of beasts before. I don't know, but I think that kind of rules. I think that owns. Oh, sure, you can try to kill me and eat me if you end up being unable to resist, but I'm a knight. I'll fucking kill you first. So, Jesus. It's better for you to let me do what I want. And what I want is to be with you. That is, if you want me to. He's looking at me now like he's seeing me for the first time. He's at a loss for words. Rosemary, Well, actually, I guess I'm not a real knight yet. I think my point still stands. Yeah, 100,000% agreed that if you're gonna have some sordid, drama-full vampire romance, it's gotta have something of that layer, like, when I was first reading about Twilight as a series, my immediate first impression was, oh, her dad is kind of a layabout drunk who has a mysterious job that's never mentioned. He's obviously a vampire hunter. He's obviously a Van Helsing, and that's going to come up. It didn't, because I'm not the one writing that book, and so my ideas aren't actually real, but I thought they would be. You are as real a knight as I have ever met. He draws me close, cradling my face in his hands, and we kiss. Put my arms around him and pull him into me. He stiffens at first, but soon relaxes into my embrace. You can feel how strong I am, right? So don't worry, I can handle myself. Huh, perhaps you can. And yeah, Twilight has writing issues, and I would never recommend them, but there is some good shit in there. At last, we make it off of Mount Needle. Before we continue, I gotta say, with the pace of how this story has gone, we are extremely going to be fighting a dragon in this, I'm pretty sure. Like, the dragon who is causing problems. We're going to have to fight a dragon. God, Knight. That's a fucking heinous joke. At last, we make it off of Mount Needle. Starlight City lies in view just a few miles away. We're exhausted, hungry, chilled to the bone. Yet somehow, I feel light and giddy. We conquered the mountain, and I got a boyfriend. Those are equal things. It's much warmer now, but still too cold for Tarun to change form. There's so much I want to say to him, but before I get a chance, we're greeted by a stranger. Yup, there we go. There's the evil dragon. I see even White Heat made it down. Doing all right there, old man? Rana, don't speak to me. This whole mess is your fault. We will put a stop to it. His fault? So this is... Yes, this is the dragon who's been eating humans. Rana, you insolent whelp. You make it sound like that's a bad thing, old-timer. Don't you have any pride in what you are? I don't care what anyone says. It's our right to eat lesser creatures. You used to understand that. You've withered and gone soft with age. The stars cry out for us to consume all those who are beneath us. Who are we to deny them? Besides, if you don't eat humans, they just die in a few decades anyway. What a waste of good food. Say, what do we have here? Rana looks me up and down, and I tense up, grabbing the hilt of my sword. My blood runs cold, but I do my best not to show it. Shall we have a quick meal before the conference, Tarun? There's no one here to scold us for it, after all. You can just say you lost her to the mountain. I know you want to. I can smell your hunger. You're famished. A sudden intense heat explodes from Tarun. His entire body shimmers and glows. The stars said it was right. Oh shit. Cool dragon. I like that his scales are a little feathery. Before I can blink, there stands before me an immense... Typo. Remove the D. An immense and powerful dragon, gleaming hot and bright, as if the sun shines on him alone. What? You shouldn't be able to take that form. Not here. What is this? Rana, we are both dragons. But compared to me, you are an infant in mind and body. If you ever harm a human again, especially this one, you will answer to me. Is that clear? Rana can't answer. He's too busy fleeing into the woods as fast as his clumsy human form can run. Eat shit, loser! Fall off your horse! Soon it's just the two of us again, alone, together. Tarun turns his great head towards me. He is strange, inhuman, unbelievable, yet deeply familiar. Do you see now? This is the truth of what I am. Can you love a creature like this? Yeah. That's not even that difficult. I could eat you right now. It would be easier than anything. So do it. Do it, bitch! Eat me! He leans his massive head closer to me. I've never seen anything so large. I feel a little dizzy just looking at him. But he doesn't open his vicious jaws. Instead, he nuzzles me, soft and gentle. Fucking cute. I close my eyes and kiss his great scaly nose. Chew. When I open my eyes again, Tarun is back in the human form I know so well, looking surprised at himself. There were a few times on the mountain where I was really sure I would eat you. But once I saw Rana, I couldn't imagine letting anyone do that. Thank you, Tarun. You know, only a true knight can stare into a dragon's eyes without fear. You really think so? That's sweet. You're a big softy deep down. We should get to the city. The conference will be starting soon. Oh, right, of course. And so, Tarun makes his way to the Capitol building. I end up hanging around the city on my own. I worry a bit about running into Rana, but I guess he's at the conference too. It's just me, all by myself. The city is amazing, and a little overwhelming. I'm not used to seeing so many people in one place. I get my armor cleaned, my sword sharpened, I eat real food at the tavern, and pick up some dry clothes. Still have plenty of gold left over for whatever it is I'm doing next. Tarun only hired me to take him across the mountain. There's no reason for me to stay here. We didn't talk about meeting up again. I don't know if he's going to come find me. I can't bring myself to leave yet. I don't see him again until the next day, sitting on a sidewalk bench when I feel a familiar hand on my shoulder. Hello again. I'm glad you are still here. I never leave without saying goodbye. How did the conference go? The dragons and human leaders spoke for a long time. There was no simple solutions for what has happened. Rana's crimes are not so easily ignored. Their trust in us is shaken, and justifiably so. The future is still uncertain, but I have hope we will rebuild our faith in each other. And Rana, at least, will not be breaking the peace agreement anymore. I have seen to that, personally. Tarun has probably just killed him. If being honest, he has just killed him. He's pretty scared of you, huh? And with very good reason. I bet. Mouse? Okay, my mouse is breaking. I'm going to have to get a new mouse soon. Damn. I can't personally stop all dragons from ever eating a human again. But you've given me a lot to think about. Perhaps I've been isolated for too long. I can try harder to make some difference. So, what do you think you're going to do now? Just, out of curiosity, I guess. And no, it is... I don't think it's a battery issue because this mouse has been with me for like 6 years, and the middle mouse button has broken as well. So this is definitely an X mouse. I will be flying south to tell the lesser dragons of the news of what has happened here. I will do a clicky. And I will look at that later. But yeah, it's a good piece of art, if I remember what it is. Anyway, back to the game. I may pay a visit to my mother, the Queen, on the way. After that, I don't know what I'll do. I suppose the stars will tell me. Well, if you're going south, maybe I could come with you. Why would you want to? There's nothing for you there. You don't think so? It'd be amazing. Be the one human in a council of dragons. That's the kind of thing they tell stories about. And mostly, I could spend more time with you. We're very different, but I want to try and understand your ways, your life. I think we have a lot to teach each other. I don't know what to say. It will be frightening to be among dragons. They are not all like me. I can try to protect you, but I can't promise I'll be able to. Do you really trust me that much? Are you sure this is what you really want? Well, I've been thinking about what I want to do while you were away. To be honest, I have no idea what I want. All I know is what I don't. And I don't want to watch you just fly away. Like Camellia had to. Knowing I'll never see you again. Knowing neither of us were brave enough to try. I take his face in my hands and I kiss him. The heat of his body warms me to my toes. You can feel him start to change. We are in the middle of the city. This is very scary. Why would you do this? I can feel him start to change. When I open my eyes, I'm looking into the eyes of a great white dragon. I've already faced 2 dragons. So far, I'm still alive. I think I can handle myself. Don't you?
Yes, I suppose so.
Aw, that's cute. Soon I find myself riding on Tarun's back, flying south. Flying on a dragon's back is... Dragon Rider. Yeah, we will be. Well, let's be honest, it's terrifying. But it's also incredible and exciting. I feel free. I guess that's how Tarun makes me feel, all the time. I have no idea what will happen in the future. I feel like... The path between, like, from that wherever that tavern is to the Starlight City is too cold for him to fly there. But if he's going south, although that's also entirely likely, Knight, it feels very much like a thing he would do, the way that Tarun has been characterized. He wanted to interact with a human. I have no idea what will happen in the future, walking among a council of dragons way out in the wilderness, being the only human around for miles. Who knows what could happen? It's pretty scary to think about. It also makes my heart race in a way that feels good. I'll have Tarun with me. I'll have my sword. A true knight never lets fear stop her. Especially when she's facing a dragon. That makes quite a bit of sense, Knight. He was trying to get a gauge for how Rana was thinking, I guess. It's interesting. I like it. This has been a very compelling story. Not the best romance, though it definitely has some good bits that really got me. But it's a very interesting story. And we're done! That was wonderful. Halfway there. But my voice is tired. We'll do the rest of that next week. Next week. Next week, Uncle and Scruffy Hottie. Yeah, every flavor of LaCroix. Huh. Well, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. We'll see y'all next time for more Rose of Winter. Take care, everybody. And yes, special thanks to Ganondorf. I feel like that had to be like a name of someone. But yes, take care. That's me. Help, I'm stuck.